Welcome back, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans right here on the YouTube and the Twitch. Who we all got here today. This is just a revolving crew lately. This is kind of wild. No more Trent. He's out of here. We fired him.
Truck's out of here tonight, too.
Oh, sorry, Bill. Didn't mean to kick you. We got Unqle Marq. We got Bill. We got Alicia. And from across the pond, wait, the other way, we got a Bison in his house. What is up?
Hey, man.
He's bringing all the beefalo tonight.
All the beefalo.
Hey, it's nice to be here again. Like 2 weeks in a row. My God. What am I doing?
I'll tell you, he's making all these appearances. The Bison couldn't help himself.
That's true. That's true. I can't have Steve taking all the spotlight. I mean, come on.
What if he gets more over than you, and you've been around since day one, the founder?
Exactly. We can't have that. We can't have that. I mean, I'm going to have. I'll end up having beefalo with Steve.
Well, Bison, I don't know if you went back and watched the After Dark that Steve was on with us. Have you seen that?
I don't think so.
Oh, Bison, you need to go back and watch that After Dark that Steve did with us. He became a legend on that show. For those of you in the chat that were there, you know, Simply Steve shocked the living shit out of us.
He's a good guy.
Wait, when was this?
It was like the first or second After Dark back.
Oh, okay.
So if you go back on the Patreon, like to June, it's somewhere in there.
Nice.
It was after the first time that Steve was on the main show.
Wow.
He said it. But he told this great story, and it was this wonderful tale. And then he dropped a twist, and the whole stream went silent, and we were all like, "Is this a shoot?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's a shoot." And we were like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, it's totally worth going back.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Instead, Bison's going to go back and have this conversation.
I look like a young boy to you?
Exactly.
He's a top man. He's been a massive impact fan for so long. And I remember when he originally contacted me and said, "Hey man, I really want to get involved in podcasting. Can you give me some advice?" And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you just, why don't we have why don't we have like a video conversation, and let's see what you're about, and then who knows?" And we had a little chat, and I said, "Man, you've got so much knowledge. It would be great to have you on TNI." And he's like, "No way." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's just do it. Just do it." And then literally the following, I contacted Trent. I said, "Do you mind?" And he's like, "Well, if you're cool with him." So I said, "Well, let's just give it a go and see where it goes." And I think he's just got better and better and more confident, and I think he comes across really well, really good. And he often disagrees with me, which I love, because it just gives me that opportunity to batter someone on the podcast. I do love it. I love beefalo. We know that. I love beefalo.
Well, it's and that's why I love our crew that we got here, because I mean we all have our favorites and we all agree on a lot of stuff, but we don't agree on everything.
It'd be weird if we did.
It would be.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Oh, we all love Christian Cage. We all love the fact that he's." No, I know that's not the fact here. So
I think maybe for once you hit the nail on the head, though, Jaybone. Oh, that's awesome, Bill. That freaking is. I think we all agree that we don't want Christian Cage's tamp right now. Nothing against Christian Cage. I just think we're all on the same page with that.
No, I'm actually fully supporting it, but that's for Sam, Bill, and the naysayers.
Well, yeah. We'll
compared to Kenny Omega, I'm happy with it.
I mean, let's face the facts, though. I do want to put this one forward. Let's face the facts. Last week, I was like, it's going to be Christian Cage. Like, I'm telling you.
Yeah, Bison called it. Absolutely called it.
So I just want to rub that into the wound a little bit there.
Who are you pointing at?
I don't know. I can't. This way.
Because I was on board with you, Bison.
You were, but this fella wasn't. This fella was like, yeah, whatever.
Well, he hears the battle cry every day.
I do. I did not think. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Well, you
Hey,
know,
but hey,
Oh yeah.
plenty of time right now. Kenny, he doesn't have to worry about defending that title anymore. He can just have a bunch
Cocktail
of
hour, brother.
True story. True, but now I don't get to see him on Impact, and I'm a fan, so for me it's a bummer. Well, maybe I don't know. Hopefully he comes back, but I'm guessing he's gone. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Well,
We shall see.
Yeah,
they did point that out in BTI. That was part of the Iceman intel. That was going to be the big question
That's
with
right,
the
he
new
did say
champ.
that. Yeah.
He was like, "Where is Kenny and Callis? Are they in the impact zone?" And I was like, "Ooh!" So when our stream, what we were watching, looked like he was going to end about 5 minutes in front of the hour. We were like, ooh, there's plenty of time for a backstage segment or something. So I'm thinking we're going to get Kenny at the end of the show facing off or attacking Christian or something, something
Right.
like typical. But no, we didn't get that at all. So very interesting. No.
Yeah, so right now for the new YouTube setup, the Insider, if you're watching that, and that's where we figured that would be the best way to react with most of you. It started a half hour later than Access TV, and it ended 5 minutes earlier than Access TV, commercial free. So just as a heads up on timing of all that, we'll see if that's consistent or not, because it went from 30 minutes into the hour, BTI started, and that ended with about a 17 minute window between the two shows. So we did a little intermission back and forth, Jaybone and I, but we'll see what happens going forward. If this is consistent or if every episode's probably within a few minutes, I'm thinking it'll be pretty consistent. But that's the new setup going forward with the coach stream.
When you can find the link.
Yeah.
Well, you got to set those reminders. That's a key. Set the reminders. Look at the playlist. Because it ain't gonna just do it all for you. That's for sure.
Duly noted.
Am I right in thinking I saw something also on the Insider thing where Impact are doing their own live chat thing? Did anybody see that?
Yeah, it's like our live chat on YouTube right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same
No.
thing.
I thought there was something else. I'm sure I saw something else. Like Sami Callihan was.
Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow,
At
Sandy's
6
doing a
p.m.?
chat before the pay-per-view.
What player?
Okay.
What is it on the YouTube? It's on their YouTube.
On the YouTube.
It's on the YouTube, yeah.
Okay.
For the
Yeah.
Insiders, yeah.
So if you guys have that,
yeah, I'm not on that.
Well, come on, Mark. I mean, everybody's doing.
I watch it on Access.
A lot of people were doing it today. They were getting a lot of signups, so we'll see. They very well have made the right decision. We will see.
Well, financially, it's a great decision.
Well, I can't see how it can't be. I mean, they've got they're at 4.5 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, you get a small fraction of that. You'll
it
get.
Just makes sense.
Here for a lot of money.
That's the only reason I'm on the review show, guys. They offer me big bucks. That's why I'm here. Like, come on.
Trent's gone.
I've not heard of these big bucks.
We're like, Trent's gone. We got to dial in the big guns. Call the beefalo, and then we sent out the beef signal. I actually have a signal. It's just a bunch of fucking meat on a light, but it does the job.
It's the main event of tonight. That's the beef signal.
Yes, absolutely.
Just so you know, it's like, no one's safe. I fired Trent, so Bison, just watch yourself, all right?
Watch yourself.
I'm on appearance only, boys. Appearance only.
Yeah, right.
Pay for appearance.
So before we kick this whole thing off, just want to remind you folks, there are plenty of ways to support the show. You could join the Patreon, and I know we're behind on a few things to entertain all the Patreons as far as extra content. And Mark's been busy with stuff. We all been a little busy with stuff. So I just want to let you know that we are going to get on top of that next week at the, coming towards the end of the month. We'll get some extra stuff in the can for you guys for for your entertainment purposes. And also, and thanks to the Patreons. I know I'm behind on making a new video, but I just wanted to put that out there immediately. Thank you so much to all the Patreons that either signed up again and or changed your Patreon
Tier level?
Tier level. Thank you.
We had quite a few people move from Family Dinner to TNI fam. So like Bree moved, Terrence moved, I think Keith is new now, Richard moved up, Derek is back. So thank everybody who came back, moved up, re-signed up. Even if you're not a patron, like thanks for being in the Discord, thanks for joining us here, thanks for whatever it is that you can and choose to do for the show. Like we all work really hard, and you guys have worked really hard as well to make all of this happen. It really is a team effort. So thank you so much, everybody. Sorry we're behind on some stuff. It's been school starts. My wife's a teacher. She's back at work full time. You know, my wife's in upheaval right now. So some of it's on
me.
Yeah.
It's life, you know,
yeah.
But we will get some extra stuff out for you within the next few weeks. So thank you for being patient Patreons. What else? There's a new super chat, super sticker, and in the YouTube at the bottom of the chat, if you feel free to, we want to tip one of your favorite podcasts during the show. And there's also a 20% off sale right now. Let me find it here where I had it earlier. Where did it go?
Jaybone,
where is it?
Jaybone, what are you doing? What are you looking at?
This is horrible.
Yeah, just I lost.
I've had to use the Zach Morris in a long time. We're only 12 minutes in.
There it is. Thank you. I couldn't find it earlier, and I couldn't find it again. Jimmy Christmas. We just got to move stuff around here, don't we, just to get better organized because they keep moving stuff around. Who keeps moving my shit? I swear to God. All right, so 20% off.
You motherfucker.
Tomorrow, which is Emergence Day, and we'll get to that later. So Friday through the weekend, through Sunday, 20% off the spread shop shirt shop for TNI. God, I need more of this caffeine stuff. Jiminy Christmas. It's different from the pro wrestling tees, but there are tanks, muscle tops for men and women, aprons.
Oh, yeah, muscle tops, baby. Oh,
yeah, muscle. Thank you, Bison. That's so sexy. You got mugs, you got caps, you got all sorts of stuff to add to your TNI collection and help the podcast grow.
Poor Lakers. He has one of everything, and then we started a new shop. We're like, surprise, Lakers. You get to start all over again.
Yeah, right? Crazy. So, shall we jump into this? Is there anything else we want to cover?
Yeah, is there any news, Jaybone? Should I play a jingle?
Oh man.
Jiminy Christmas. I got to cover that too? My God. I got to ship that off to someone.
We might, yeah, I was going to say, we might have to move the news. Maybe Bison can be our Iceman. We can have the Bison, and he can do our news.
Well, I mean, we could cover a few different things if you want
to cover. All right, the Jaybone's got a little bit. All right, here
we'll toss it around, sure.
Little Jaybone's.
Jiminy Christmas.
And now, Jaybone's news with your favorite broadcaster, Jaybone, with maybe something, maybe nothing. Say it, Jaybone.
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
What will he have? Will Jaybone come through? Will he choke? Will there be news? Will there be no news? How long can Mark stall? How much time can he give Jaybone? Jaybone, are you ready?
I was, but then you took so long. I'm old. I forgot. Damn it.
Oh shit.
Thanks
a lot. Plenty of news.
Okay. Alicia's like, all right, welcome to the shit show. Hold up your mug.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have it. I just have this. Sorry.
What is that? What are we drinking tonight?
Coffee out of a travel Dunkin' Donuts mug.
That's good.
I went to Dunkin' Donuts today, but it was for ice cream at Baskin Robbins.
Oh, there you
go. Yeah, this is just my own homebrew.
Oh, nice. All right, so news. There is, for those of you who maybe have been sleeping under a rock, there is a lot that has been going on within this past week, going into the end of this week, which is tomorrow. We got a few things going on tomorrow. We've got Emergence, of course. And we will be going over the card for that at the end of the show. Pretty excited for that. A different kind of card. Kind of feels like the last show. Well, we'll talk about it later. What else is happening? We have a brand new world champion, and it got the title got won on someone else's show. I don't know how everybody feels about this. You know what? Let's go around the horn.
Do we want to just? It's elephant in the room, right? So like, talk about it now.
Let's go around the horn. Let's go around the table. Let's talk about it. Let's start with the man from across the pond. Let's start with Bison, as far as our new champion, who is technically someone from another roster, from the AEW roster, Christian Cage. What do you think?
To be honest, I'm down with it, baby. I like it. You know what I mean? I think it's cool. I think it makes sense from the AEW point of view that they're not going to, obviously, you know, if someone from the Impact roster was to actually take Kenny, then I guess it would kind of weaken it would weaken Kenny to a degree. So I can see why they wouldn't. They'd want someone from their own roster to take that title away. But what's beautiful about it is that at least Christian has got a decent history with Impact Wrestling or TNA, I guess. And again, I can see him happily dropping the title, say at Bound for Glory, for instance, to one of the young up and coming Impact stars. So I can see that happening. It makes a lot of sense to me on why they would do that. I also think that they've been teasing this. I don't think this is all of a sudden. I think this was always going to potentially be the plan. Whether it was to happen at this point, I don't know. But when you go back and you think about, the fact that they've been selling, Christian's T-shirt, they've been selling, the cars, they've got a Christian Cage pin. It's almost like it's sort of kind of been foretelling where they were going to go with it. So I thought, for me, I think this was always going to happen. And I'm looking forward to seeing Christian, tomorrow night, to be fair. I'm looking forward to seeing him against Myers. I've tried my hardest to avoid spoilers. So I know, I'm pretty certain, obviously, that Christian's going to retain. But, all I've heard is it's a really, really good match. So I've not seen, the results. I've just seen that it's a really, really good match. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be great.
What is up, John?
And I am a Christian fan, baby. So it's all good.
All right.
So I'm done with it.
So let's go to Alicia now. Your thoughts on Christian Cage?
Let's just see how it goes, I guess. I have nothing spectacular to say.
Oh, what?
So what do you have unspectacular to say?
Yeah, if you're not thrilled,
if you don't like it, say it.
It's all
That's
good.
what I'm going to say.
I know, I'm already the asshole of the group.
Just say you don't like it. I don't like it either.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I'm just underwhelmed by it, to be honest. Okay. I don't know. I guess that's just it. I'm underwhelmed. I don't really see the point, and yeah, there we go.
Well, and I know a lot of us were looking forward to one of the Impact roster beating Kenny for it. I think that's what the build was, right?
Yeah. It's not even. I don't even think that's what I'm disappointed about. I think there's maybe a laundry list of other names I could have chosen to kind of make this exchange, and I don't think Christian would have ever landed on it. Nothing personal towards him. Obviously, what he's done for TNA was phenomenal, and he had a great run, and a lot of historical moments. I don't want to take away from his talent or anything. I guess it's just another case of I'm not there. I guess John's like, Alicia be hated.
Alicia be hated.
I guess. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I like everything though, right? Like
well, with me, I think I hate everything at least once. Maybe my tune might change, but I don't know.
I mean,
I don't hate it, I guess I should say.
I feel like a lot of the time we're on opposite sides regarding Kenny Omega, but for once we're on the same side, different reasons, but same side. Like, I don't have to precurse it, I guess, with the Christian love in, like, whatever. He's Christian Cage, great. I've never been a huge fan. That's cool. He's an ex-TNA guy. Like, I get it. To me, in my opinion, it hurts Omega, who's 19 months without a pin. And that, in turn, hurts the entire Impact roster down the card because Omega's been dominating the roster. So, to me, this whole thing is the wrong move. Like, I get it now. He's the last TNA champion ever. That's cool, like, in the record books, and we're all going to look back and jerk off about that later. But for right now, I'm not a huge fan of that. It doesn't feel legitimate or timely to me. I hope Kenny beats the ever-living fucking brakes off of Christian Cage at All Out and takes that belt back. I love that it's so divisive, and I love the story potential here. Like, Myers in a main event with Christian at Emergence tomorrow on an otherwise really lackluster and boring card is awesome. I can't wait for that match. I think it's going to be a huge moment for both these guys. Christian puts me to sleep to no end. He always has. Tonight, he kept me interested in the ring. I liked his promo a lot. He seemed legitimate to me, like happy to be back, which is cool. I'm willing to give it rope either way. I don't hate it right now. I just hate the way it makes the rest of the roster look. So that's where I'm at with it.
I hear you. All right.
But, you know, hey, if it ends up being great, I'll say it's fucking great, right? Like, I just think it makes the roster look weak, and I don't like that.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I hear you there. Well, that ties in with like what I said. We were hoping that either a Sami or a Moose or someone.
Josh, Deanna. I don't care. Let Deanna do it.
You and your Deanna. No, I'm kidding.
She's the greatest wrestler in the world, man. She could take Kenny. Come on.
I hear you. She is the new belt collector, and we'll get to that later. All right, Bill, what do you think?
I can see both sides of this.
Yeah.
I think Kenny, though, has run his course. I think it lost momentum. I think Kenny served his purpose early on, but you saw the drop off. Like, you saw the initial interest from Twitch and all that. It died out. Like, it was still there a little bit, but he wasn't moving the needle that he was early on. I think Christian with the TNA connection, and I am biased because I was a big Christian fan in TNA. I think I put his signing probably second behind Kurt Angle that moved the needle in TNA originally. When he came in, that was big time.
He was the first.
Yeah. He was like Angle was huge, but like it was like, oh, Christian, and like everybody knew who Christian was, and I think that's still the case. I think people that remember AEW's audience, they like to say it's as big as up north. It's not. It's not even close. And people know Christian. They know Christian and Edge, and they know Christian. That brings eyes. So I think more people will tune in to see, oh, Christian. And honestly, let's not kid ourselves. Kenny maybe he'll be there that week. Maybe his name will be on a door. We never knew when Kenny Omega was even going to be there. So this guy, he's at least showing, even though Kenny had the title, he didn't seem proud of the title. And I think that can make Impact fans feel a little better. You have a guy that actually has history, that cares about this title, even if he doesn't work for the company, because you weren't going to get it off Kenny any other way. So it was compared to the options, I think this is the best option you could have gotten once it went down this road, which I'm still okay with. I think this was storytelling the right way to go to get involved with this angle as opposed to not do it. But I think this is probably the best way out for this angle.
I hear you. Yeah, and if you look back towards the start of the year, back around, I know this is mentioning another company, so please forgive me. Don't stone the Jaybone.
Don't stone the bone. I'm already stoned, bone.
Stone the
Alicia, why am I up here? What the fuck is going on?
Right. Oh, this is true. We
You're
need
floating,
to,
bro.
What the hell?
We need
Where
to
Get
am I?
too high.
There we go.
There we go.
That's better.
There we go. Is that better?
Treehouse
All
returned
right.
tonight too.
The
Fuck yeah,
smoking section's on the floor. There we go.
Smoking section's on the floor.
So, look, if you watch the Royal Rumble, and I'm sure some of the audience did, I did. I was excited to see him return to wrestling in general. It's great when you see someone who's taken a fall or retired for health reasons or whatever.
Mhm.
To return to wrestling, and he had that great moment with Edge in the ring. It was you call it an instant classic moment. And
Instant classic.
And I think
no one would chant that with me.
Right?
I'm the one that, when you heard someone yell instant classic, it was me.
You were solo on that, right?
I was solo.
So that was front row Bill, folks. That's what you heard. Excuse me. So it was great to see him back, but they didn't have anything else for him. They weren't going to put him on the roster with his former tag partner. And I know for some fans that was really frustrating. It was for me because I was actually watching at that time and I was excited for that. So I was like, well, that's a damn shame. And then come to find out a couple months later or whenever it was, timeline-wise, sure as shit, he shows up on AEW. So I was like, well, at least someone's giving him a chance if he is medically cleared, So, I'll skip ahead several more months. Yeah, this really did kind of came out of nowhere. Because I missed that episode of AEW. I didn't even know where this happened. I didn't know who was the number one contender on Impact Wrestling after that Battle Royal. So I did a lot of catching up this past week. And it all felt kind of weird to me. I do love Christian. I feel like he can still go in the ring. He could certainly help the next generation. And yeah, he does have a TNA past, and I get the frustration that it wasn't someone from the Impact roster. I get that frustration. So yeah, I'm kind of with Bill that I'm kind of with Bill and Bison and everybody here. It's like I can see both sides of it. I'm okay with it. I'm not jumping up and down just because it felt so weird, but he did have a great moment in front of a big ass crowd, and they all popped for a new Impact champion.
Yeah,
let's look at big picture here. That was cool.
The live audiences have been amazing since the return of them. Kudos to everyone who's been in attendance in these past couple of tapings. You're really bringing the heat.
Yeah, AEW crowds are absolute fire, man. They're starting to sell out arenas, and I think I heard that there's another arena that got sold out tomorrow, but I'll be nice. I won't mention this.
The 2300 arena for
That's right.
Nights sold out.
Wait, what? What is this?
By Honors 2 nights, tomorrow and Saturday. Bill will be there at 2300 arena. I think
I'm not talking about. Right
That's the only show I know about tomorrow night, Jaybone.
Well, Emergence is taped.
I'm talking about where the former anchor of this show lives in Chi-Town.
And he won't be there, I'm sure, so that tells you everything you need to know.
Well,
the Warrior Show, Jay White and Sam Adonis, who was recently TI.
No.
Big man is
that. Guys are killing me.
Any guesses, Bison? Bison guesses? Is there a WrestleWave show? I mean,
I've got no idea. I've got absolutely no idea.
What's happening?
Is Mickey Gale fighting in UFC?
HD will back me up on this. He knows it's C
and Skunk.
Okay, so there's some people on the panel here who are not.
I actually don't know shit about him. Just fucking with you, Jaybone.
Actually, I was fine with him until he left wrestling. And then
that upset a lot of people.
Killed the well, no, I wasn't upset that he left. I was upset that he had no respect for the business after he left.
No, exactly. Yeah.
He looks at that as just and I will give credit, and I don't think I've ever given credit to this man. But Roman Reigns was on like some show today and was talking about Punk, and it's like, you're not John Cena. Don't act like you're John Cena. There's a reason like your warrant is over. Yeah. Like you're not going to be over like John Cena. Like you did a good promo. Like you cut a good promo. That's about it, son. Like that's kind of what he told him. Stay in your lane.
It's interesting that it's Ariel Helwani that was doing the interview, because he's one that's always been a backer of CM Punk and always came to Chicago to interview him. And the fact that he's now working for WWE, it's very interesting.
And see, and I'm here with John B too.
Yes, that's exactly what I feel.
That's why I thought about Mickey Gallon. You blink, you missed it.
Yeah.
The dude thought he was bigger and tougher than he was, and then he got his ass handed to him, and now he's crawling back. Give me a payday.
Exactly.
Man, we
that's
never do
exactly
that
the problem.
We got some
That's exactly the problem.
Hot topics.
He's going to be taking millions and millions of dollars.
Well, that's the thing. He's the anti-hero for the internet wrestling community. Like, because he was anti-John Cena. He was anti-The Rock. But now that's all he is. So if you cheer for him, you're a conformist. Sorry. You're no cold of personality.
I can say I can't wait for that to be played loud and proud in Chicago.
Oh, that's fucking sweet.
I will say the only thing that's
beloved by wrestling fans, but he doesn't love you and he doesn't love the business. If you just love watching him as a worker, then so be it.
He told me personally that I'm his number 2 besides his wife. So.
Oh yeah, we can't forget it. Mike Jackson. You mean Action Mike Jackson?
Action Mike Jackson,
our favorite Mike Jackson.
Hey, is Mike Jackson still working the Indies? No way, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he is.
Fuck yeah, I saw some the other week.
Dude, what a fucking G. That guy is such a gangster. Can we get one more Mike Jackson match in Impact?
Oh, so it's only 30 minutes in, D-Back. Give us a break here.
I'm counting 33 on the ticker here. Anyways.
Kyle's not even here.
Let's talk. Let's rewind here a little bit as far as news. Let's talk about Resurgence here for a bit. Bill, can you talk about your time in California at Resurgence? Because I know we talked about it at the Sunday dinner, but I know that only so many people see that from the Patreon. So I wanted to share some of that here for our audience.
No, definitely a good show. New Japan, they obviously put on they can put on a long, good show with a good amount of good in-ring action. And they were definitely Impact-wise, who was out there, like Moose had a great match with Ishii. Surprised, but I like I said, everything with Moose always surprises me these days, because I think Moose is going to get that world title. He doesn't get it. He's in matches, then he loses. I'm always surprised by it because Ishii, very good wrestler, but that's a guy that can take a loss right now. So I thought that would be like, all right, Moose, you put him over there, you run for Bound for Glory. That makes me really think Bound for Glory and Moose world titles in jeopardy again here. By stat results.
How many times can it be in jeopardy and they miss on it though?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I think. So I think that's not happening. I think we're probably looking at Moose at like Homecoming next year, maybe.
No,
so we'll see what happens. I just can't imagine them. You can people can lose and you can rebuild a story real quick, but that's my one thing with that. But once again, a great match. Moose is already talking about doing that again, so that could be a rematch at Bound for Glory. I'm thinking. That could be the setup instead. So I think that's probably what happens is they run that back at Bound for Glory, and then maybe the title run early next year. But then that whole thing could have changed, this Christian storyline. But going back to that real quick, my issue will be, like I'll Mark saying, I'm sure Jaybone's probably saying too, they think Christian's not going to win over Kenny Omega at All Out. If he's our champion, and if there's not big shenanigans, like either wins by DQ Christian or something happens for him not to win, if he loses clean, I don't like that look of our champion losing clean to their champion. I need major shenanigans.
He won't lose clean. It's an elite match. He won't lose clean.
His group is all about shenanigans.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Brandon Cutler, the the icy hot guy or whatever, the cold spray. Excuse me. You got Callis, who's probably going to be down there. You got the Good Brothers that are probably going to be in tow. You got you got Oil Boy, Nakazawa. You got shenanigans.
Max and Jeremy Buck.
Yeah, you've got shenanigans on top of shenanigans. You got on top of shenanigans. So it's if anything's going to happen, Christian's going to have to come with a flipping army, and sadly more than a Jungle Boy and
now
Luchasaurus.
Other than Moose, like obviously it was good to see the Good Brothers victorious over Moxley, but I really was thinking it was going to be Sami as his tag partner.
Yeah.
I guess that was the Impact fan hopefulness in me.
Well, here, this is interesting. You say that because when we were watching it live, Kevin Kelly actually said that live on the show.
He said it could be Sami Callihan.
He said he thought it was either going to be Sami Callihan or Eddie Kingston. And I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Then they went but it makes sense. Okay, they went with a New Japan guy.
Yeah, and you've got the story thread back to Nagata anyways from their North American.
What's interesting about this whole situation, though, is, and we spoke about this on Impacted on Wednesday, it's been reported that John Moxley's actually applied for the rights for the name The Switchblades and also Switchblade Conspiracy. So we know that he is going to be getting together with Sami Callihan at Wrestling Revolver. I'm not sure when the date is of that, but
October.
I think it's October. October, okay.
Yeah,
so we know that's going to happen, but does that mean that we could potentially see that happen on Impact as well?
We could cross our fingers, or even Sami go hop across the border and go to AEW.
I think we're going to see it.
Who knows?
Yeah, I think we're going to see some New Japan AEW.
Yeah, like you got to remember
somewhere
that this show, the Revolver show, Bison just mentioned, where they are tagging together, is only days after Impact's Bound for Glory event.
Yes,
right.
So the timing is really interesting. So they really could go from doing Impact to that show. They could take the same flight out together. So it's, I do think if you ask me right now, Moxley lives in Vegas. Do you have the connection with Sami and that coming back? I think he's involved at Bound for Glory. I'd say 75-80% chance of that happening.
The timing would be good.
The timing seems
point, Bill.
Really like it seems almost as far out as it is right now, as definite as you could look at it right now. Right, reading the tea leaves, it seems like it's too easy to book.
Well, and right now anything's possible, and we know that, so it gives us a different expectation of things in the future. Before you thought small, now everything could be big. So I'm constantly thinking.
Yeah, because this is a real partnership now. This isn't. Remember, it was Kenny Omega and Don with Impact working together. It wasn't AEW. Then some of it started happening over the course of time, but now we're in the real partnership phase. We're moving pay-per-view times to accommodate them. This is legit now. So I think Bound for Glory is going to be the biggest test of this partnership. So that's where I think you really do see. So I think some of these decisions could have changed on how things turned out the last month. But now you're going to see more of a storyline where we thought everything was going to cap at Bound for Glory with Kenny. I think this has all been pushed back. I think these partnerships are going to go longer. So I think we're going in the next year right now. Maybe Slammiversary 22 is the end of these partnerships. But maybe they won't even end. New Japan, they have a history of Ring of Honor for years.
That's what I think almost is the certain certainty of the future here. Like, you're not going to put this genie back in the bottle, not all the way at least. And shit, I had another point on BFG, but I forgot.
But that's the thing. I think this was going to have a genie put back in the bottle of Bound for Glory. But now, like, I know we're all thinking, well, Kenny's off TV. He's off TV for now. But I think I could see him at Bound for Glory in like a 6-man tag match or something.
But they're already promoting it as a, well, not as a super card, but they're using just the logos of all
the partnerships. There's partnerships there for sure.
It's going to be undoubtedly as much crossover as we're seeing now. It's not going to get smaller building towards BFG. I think BFG is going to be a lot of crossover, whether we want it or not. So what that means to our title, I have no fucking clue. That's one great thing about the Christian thing. I give a shit ton of credit to this booking that I wasn't expecting, because now the matchups all change, the possibilities, his stories, everything changes now. It's a complete reset. So unless Kenny wins it back at All Out, which I hope he beats the fucking brakes off of Christian Cage at All Out. But if that doesn't happen, it's a total reset. So.
Yeah, and I said it last week when Bison was bringing up Christian and going through a lot of that. I said I would mark with Christian Cage back in the Impact Zone, because we all thought Christian was done for before he made that return at the Rumble. So I thought I'd never have the chance to see Christian in TNA Impact again. That we're getting a last run from him, because he's doing it now, but I can't imagine he has a long run left in him. Like I maybe he's wrestling for another year, maybe 2. I can't imagine he's going much longer. So to get that out of him in an Impact Wrestling ring, I'm ecstatic about that. Add that to your Impact Plus archives.
Yeah, they got stuff all lined up on Impact Plus right now, so you can go watch those highlights. Anything else you want to cover before the review?
No, that covers all the Impact stuff. Like we talked about earlier, Guerrillas of Destiny, them coming out at the end of the Good Brothers match. That adds to that for Bound for Glory, maybe.
I think there's a good chance for that, because they showed that clip on the show tonight too.
Yeah, obviously, good match between David Finlay and Jay White. That was the main build we saw on Impact Television for that show. But that feels like that's not really over yet either. So we could see more. And obviously with Chris Bay and the Finesse Club, Bullet Club right now, I think there's a lot of connections still going. So we'll see how it all plays out. But hey. And I know he won the belt. If somehow this would be another like thing for Impact, because we've had connections with New Japan, but I give me Tanahashi. If they want to put that U.S. title in a match at Bound for Glory, I'd be thrilled for that.
Josh and Tanahashi title for title,
because Tanahashi still got it. Like when he needs to go, he can go in a match, and he's one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen in person. Tanahashi.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I never even thought of that. No, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how the partnership goes, and we'll see who puts whose heads together. All right, so let's jump into this.
45 19th. Minutes in.
That on BTI.
Yeah. We'll just we'll blame who we're gonna blame. We'll blame Kyle. How about that?
Fucking Kyle. Fucking Kyle, not you, good Kyle.
What a scumbag.
What a scumbag.
All right. So T Hughes, it's out there, but some people don't like that kind of news. So I'll save that for another time.
It is funny, because me and Jaybone had this discussion earlier.
Yeah.
Did we do this on air, or did we do this off air? We did this on air, didn't we? Do it at the beginning?
I think we did. Yeah,
but that's I know we had different opinions on this. The whole minor versus major promotion free agent signings. I believe if they're not on TV, it's a spoiler. Do not discuss it.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So just do me a favor, keep it out of the chat for now. For those who maybe
unless
see it on socials,
unless they're a friend of the show and they show up in chat and spoil it themselves, then that's okay.
Well, it's funny because he was actually in the Impact chat.
Oh, was he in the Impact chat? If he trips in here,
chat.
Because he's come to our show before.
Yeah.
So if he were to do that, then by all means. Because once they put it out there, then it's not spoiled anymore.
It's an open invitation for him to join us.
Yeah. Yeah. If Impact or that person puts it out, that overrides my feelings on it. But not because a couple dirt sheets that think they're important say it. That doesn't. No, I don't go by that.
We don't fly by that.
Bill wants it from the horse's mouth or not at all.
That's exactly right, Mark. If it comes from Impact or them, then it's okay.
Because you got to have integrity and you got to have your facts right.
Like
and to just announce things off a rumor,
then it's true.
Hey, we've been put over for our integrity, so that's a good reputation to have in terms of the honesty and what we do report as news here. So,
I agree with that. What I found was what was interesting as well is that the last set of tapings, I didn't think we had massive amount of spoilers coming out of it, but this one we seem to have had stuff literally instantly. And it's been really hard to avoid a lot of it. Really hard.
Yeah, what I think happened, Bison, without knowing, this is just my thoughts. I think last time these people, because you got to remember, these dirt sheets, they put a lot of requests out there for people at tapings to get info. And you know me, I'm obviously I wouldn't talk to these people anyway, but they put those out there. But then they got connections at the last set of tapings with people that reported. And then, so they knew going into it who was going to go there on their behalf and get them information. So before they were scrambling, like, who's there? Who can get us details? Now they do, oh, Mr. X is going there. He'll give us the play-by-play. Or this site. I'll call you out.
It didn't help.
Because there's fan sites out there that put these out there, play-by-play. And they figured out who those are.
Exactly. But what's frustrating is that, and I say this all the time, if you are a true fan of Impact Wrestling and you go to those set of tapings, right, then why, and this is what I'm saying, a true fan, why would you be banging those spoilers out there?
You just missed something there in that explanation. You said true fans.
Yes.
And I can't deny this, and I can't say it's wrong. Impact's not just going for the true fans, because if you just go for the true fans, you're limiting yourself. You got to go for now the AEW fans, the crossovers, the delay fans. You got to go for all those people, and those people aren't going to feel I got to protect the product. It'd be great if they did, but they don't. They're like, they want to get over, see their name on a website. That's just what it is.
Yeah, it's just frustrating for me. I just think do you realize how much you are hurting the brand, how much you're hurting the promotion, and it is no coincidence that ratings for the show may have dropped slightly, because again, if you know those results, if you know what's going to happen, it's the same with American football match I use, or a soccer match here in the UK. If you know what the result is, you're not going to bother watching the show, because part of the excitement.
There's some of that, but then you're not the true fan, if that's what it is. If you're all there just to know results, then you really have no interest in it. You just want to react to it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. All right, well, let's dive into this.
To what?
Let's talk about BTI, Jaybone.
What?
Let's talk about BTI.
Iceman's intel.
Iceman's intel this week was he was talking about the new Impact World Champion Christian Cage was going to be in his house on this episode. Oh, yeah. Now was that Bill's for those listening audio? Bill's holding up a piece of paper from. I think this is actually from the episode. Is that from the Notebook of Sam Beal?
From the Notebook of Sam Beal.
Oh my
that's
God,
awesome.
That is.
I cannot explain how
you
it
need to
wound
frame
up
that
with me.
Did you get it signed?
I did not get it signed.
Oh, okay. Well, Sam Beal, if you're listening, next time you see Bill, please
you'll let that play out on TV.
Sign the sign, yeah. That is pretty cool, though. That is pretty cool. So say that Christian Cage, brand new champion, was in the house. They showed highlights from that match from last week's Rampage on BTI, which was cool for those that missed it. Because I'm sure some people are like, wait, we have a new champion? What? How? Where? How? Why? Which was kind of like me for a while. And he said, he wasn't sure. The big question was, where is Kenny Omega in all this, and where is Don Callis? Were they going to be in the Impact Zone as well to, counter any of this? Where, just to be there to talk about, rematch, anything. So that's one thing that was, I'm sure, had some fans concerned. It's like, okay, is Christian gonna have to deal with a rematch right away, or confrontation, or is he gonna be able to go pretty calmly into Emergence and just defend his title right away? Go around the horn real quick here. Who thought Kenny was going to show up tonight?
I didn't really think he would.
I didn't either. No, I didn't think we'd see him tonight. I mean, I'm assuming we're going to see him at some point over this set of tapers, even if it's just a recording from somewhere else. He may not have been at the actual tapings, but I'm sure we're going to see something. He's got to react to this. At the end of the day, if you don't react to it, then what was the point in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Bill, what'd you think?
I got to imagine. I didn't think we'd see him tonight. I do think you have to see him about the time of All Out, like either a taped something. Like you have to see him in some capacity when they're going to have another match for a title. You gotta somehow get that message across on Impact TV, even like not just to promote a show for them, but your world champion is going to fight for a title against the previous world champion at your company. You can't just ignore that like it's not happening. So he has to, I think, make a comment there, and it could be through the Good, and the Good Brothers are still showing up on AEW too. So there's really no reason not to. Like, I know a lot of people think that's like, okay, Kenny, we'll never see you again. Goodbye, sayonara, bon voyage. But I can't imagine that's the case. And also Don, you have to still have Don play a part somewhere. Mm-hmm. If not for all, like you're killing us, Don, if you're not here, because we have about 5 sound bites with you.
Well, Don showed up on Dynamite harassing Christian, which made me think that we were absolutely going to see Kenny, at least for a promo, talking about getting some kind of revenge or something. Something obnoxious, But we
wish I'd thought of that.
Right? So yeah, some of us did, some of us didn't. That's all right. The match then, Tasha Steelz versus Havoc. Tasha Steelz with her new muscle in tow, which is Savannah Evans, and Havoc with Rosemary. Very interesting match. Savannah Evans paying some dividends for Tasha Steelz right off the bat here. Showing everyone that she still is the fire of her former duo.
She was the flavor.
Oh, she is the flavor, but now she is the fire.
She is the fire and the flavor now.
Thank you, Alicia.
Yeah, because remember, now Eddie Edwards is the fire in Impact Wrestling.
No, I'm just confused. Alicia, let's go to our local knockout of TNI. And what did you think of Tasha Steelz versus Havoc?
I really enjoyed this match because, again, it's some of my faves. I was actually surprised, though, that Tasha got the win. Either way, I'm excited to see how this particular storyline will unravel. I'm sure Tasha and this new girl, Savannah, have plenty of tricks up their sleeve. Yeah, looking forward to it.
And we're getting, hang on, let me bring up the event here because I just want to double check the card. We'll go through the whole card at the end of the show for Emergence. And this is quite the card that got, well, I mean, they do that with a lot of these. They're kind of thrown together last minute, but they're usually fun. But this one, very interesting that they got Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans with Fallah Bahh and No Way versus all of Decay.
Who's the face? The heel?
Yeah.
Decay I honestly are so over. I think they're
that's the thing. They didn't do Fallah a service with No Way here because Tasha's obviously the heel right now.
Yeah.
And so her partners are also going to be heels. So this is the one thing I feel I need to see some backstage segments to maybe make this go in a not confusing manner, because it feels like, and like, it was like a bot, like he's always been a face, very over with the crowd, but nobody's touching Decay right now.
Yeah, they're too big.
They're so over right now. Like,
they are over, but when you got, new blood coming in, it'd be a shame to have all that just, take the L right away. So we'll see. But yeah, very interesting. And one thing I've been thinking about with all this communication with Fallah Bahh, are we going to finally get that heel turn that I've wanted out of Fallah Bahh that I've been talking about on and off for like the last year?
I think it should happen, man. It's totally, entirely possible.
So, but I think we're absolutely going to get some more bite his face off chance come tomorrow night. So, and he'll just reply with a no, no, no. Or maybe if he's going full blown heel, maybe he'll go with a no, no, F you. I don't know. So, all right. So, yeah, right. PG, more like PG-13. So Tasha Steelz gets the win here, and that, of course, leads to the updated card, and we'll go through that whole thing.
Hold on one sec before we move on. Just real quick. Tasha, new music?
Yes.
New gear?
Neutron, yeah.
Yep. Neutron. New heater.
New vibe.
New gimmick. New everything.
Oh, that boot from Savannah Evans to Rosemary?
Oh, dude, that was so stiff.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Here's what I'll tell you I don't like about this. As a big Tasha Steelz fan, what I immediately don't like about this is she is beating Havoc, which is great, but she keeps winning the roll-up. Like, I can't remember the last time Steelz won a match clean. And she is absolutely at main event level right now. I don't want to see that momentum wasted. Like, please, please, please don't misplay Tasha here. I'm okay. This match was good. I like the matches with Rosemary and Havoc, but for me, she is on main event trajectory right now. With Kiera leaving, let's take advantage of that. I hope this is just a brief stop on the way to Tasha's push towards the top.
That they're putting her in a program with Rosemary. That's pretty. Like, that's a pretty good push right there. They're saying we're putting you in the heel role pretty much with the most over face of the knockouts, maybe in the company.
Good point. I hope that means exactly what I'm talking about. That they're eyeing Steelz for maybe not a run, but at least a run at Deonna. They got to turn one of them, but at some point. I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, awesome. She is awesome.
So that's it for BTI. Gotta say, I've been loving the camaraderie of the crew from BTI. It's still flowing, I feel like everybody's gelling, even when Josh Matthews tries to throw in the awkward "too sweet me, man," right?
Mean Gear Green Machine was great tonight.
Yes, she was lovely.
Getting a lot of in-ring segments, which is great. Like, she is becoming more of like, she does the backstage interviewers, but now she's doing in-ring interviews a lot. At least one, it seems like, each of these loops. So.
Oh yeah. It's
good to see her grow.
Yeah, it's evolving.
Homegrown.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What we need to see is Mean Gear pulling a Samoan drop or something on Josh Matthews when they're in the ring together.
Yeah.
You might get that at some point. Who knows?
Little harsh, Bison.
I know. Come on. Respect
it up, though.
That's what you need.
People has no respect for that.
No too sweet for the Bison there. Jeez.
No way, man.
Jiminy Christmas. All right. So, on to the main card here, and it starts out hot with a brawl between Eddie Edwards and W. Morrissey, which is just all over. There's an echo in here. What the
It was the ghost of Jaybone.
It is.
It's Trent in the undead realm. He's trying to get out.
Or maybe it's my other personality.
No, that's enough of you, Jay.
Sorry.
It's gonna be like this all week. With you. Actually, I guess we're done after tomorrow. Wait, tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? Is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow night. Yeah.
Okay, tomorrow. Okay, after Emergence.
After Emergence.
Okay.
Right on TNT. Oh, sorry.
Jaybone.
Damn
Seriously.
It's like a
Calm yourself. Jaybone, I'm very excited for you because I know what it's like to be excited over something like that. But you're gonna have to just for like another hour, just focus. Impact Wrestling.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's go.
So, Sami Callihan to the rescue. He definitely is helping out Eddie Edwards here, but Eddie Edwards not appreciating it. Not a very pleasant look on his face with this. Bill, what'd you think?
I think it's just to send the message, and we get in the promo that even though they've been more chummy lately, they're not friends, and that's the whole thing going on here. So, but Eddie likes to take care of himself a lot of the time. He doesn't usually want help, but Sami's right now. He's good guy, Sami. So he is trying to. He's changed. He's changed the leaf, but all right, I'm seeing a lot of this.
Bull crap.
Sami doesn't like you taking the focus off of him right now.
Yeah, right. So this leads to Sami Callihan and Sabin versus Moose and Ace Austin, and those four are going to be in a fatal four-way tomorrow night on Emergence. So this was an interesting way to split this up. You know, you start seeing like, okay, can these guys get along? Obviously, they have to for a night, or do they? You know,
It's been a bangorama.
So, Bison, what did you think of the Sami Callihan with Sabin versus Moose and Ace Austin?
I really enjoyed that match. I must admit, I thought it was really cool. There was a lot of real good stuff going on in the ring, that's for sure. It seemed very smooth. Again, you know, when you've got guys in the ring that are as talented as the guys that were on display, you're going to get some really good stuff. It's really weird because I'm a little bit on the fence with this one, the way that it's kind of being booked, especially going into Emergence. And you know, I've had this conversation already this week that I think it's either going to be Ace Austin or Sami Callihan that takes it. Ace Austin or Sabin that gets the win at Emergence on this one. So I don't know. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. I think the whole sort of kind of Eddie not needing Sami's help thing is interesting because, again, ultimately, I'm sure that's going to lead to them tagging at some point again in the future. Because you've got to always create that Sami and Eddie don't like each other very much vibe. So you have to create that can they trust each other type of feeling as well. So, but overall, I thought it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to what happens at Emergence. You know, it's definitely created a little bit of intrigue for Emergence, which I'm sure that's what it was all about.
Right, like who goes into this special Impact Plus show with a little, up on everyone. Mark, any thoughts on this?
A couple things. Poor Chris Sabin. Apparently, it's his job to take the moose chop spot every match now. And I just want to send my heart out to Chris Sabin. Like, hail Sabin. I'm so sorry you got stuck.
Hail Sabin.
Sabin. I'm so sad that he got stuck with that spot. It looks like the worst position to be in every time as he's prone as fuck getting his chest caved in by moose. Oh, poor Chris Sabin. But also... So it looks like they're going full in Dreamer Raven with Sami Eddie. I hope they do it right. It's a great angle. It's a great storyline. I love what they're doing so far. I can already see the same trajectory I'm totally fine with it. I trust the creative here. This could be unbelievable if they tell a similar story over the course of the same amount of time. If we get a year and a half of this kind of story between these two, I'm all in. So I like this a bunch. The Sami Eddie thing. The rest of it's kind of weird. The match was weird to me. It was like an okay match, but I like the storytelling going on in it.
They have one of the most iconic feuds in Impact history over the last handful of years, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Alicia,
they're the
thoughts
feud
on
of
this?
the Anthem era.
So this is where I'm going to be useless because I missed everything up into the Madison Rain Tennille Dashwood segment. So moving on to someone else.
All right.
Look at this dumbass.
Be nice, Sami. Be nice.
Golly.
Sami very appreciative of our, Alicia. All right. So, Bill. Bill?
Well, no, it's the match I liked. Like I said, I think Sabin has been killing it lately. That's a guy I know, like I was saying during the reaction show, it's like Christian Cage. For his age, where he's at, being off all that time, he's good in the ring right now. But he's not he's not Christian Cage from TNA. That's not fair to go back in time and say you're as good as you were back then. But Sabin, I think he's better now than he was back then. And it's not just me like blowing smoke here. I think he really is better in the ring. I don't know if it's the injury somehow. I don't know how you tear both. Like you have tears in both you get like 2 ACLs. You have all these crazy injuries that should slow a normal person down. And he's just better than ever, it seems.
Chris Sabin's not normal.
He's not. He's super Sabin. And his character, like just the intensity he has, from even going from like just normal promos, like throwing shoes at Moose, to slamming bottles of beer at the Palace, Swingers Palace. Love this place. But doing all that, I think he's at the top of his game right now.
Dude,
and
Sabin Love Fest.
Sabin's been awesome lately.
He has been.
So he's really, and you know me, I'm the Moose guy, but Sabin's killing it right now. Very entertaining.
So can I real quick pick up on that? The Christian's Cage spot, if it had been Chris Sabin, I would have been infinitely happier. Chris Sabin is a guy that they've been building really well right now, and you could have put into this position a day one original TNA guy.
Yeah, there's no way Tony Khan signing off on Chris Sabin.
This is Chris fucking Sabin. Well,
I know that's how we feel about Chris Sabin, but Tony Khan, he's probably like, who?
Nah, he's a big TNA fan.
Nah,
get out of here. He's a faux TNA fan.
Dude, he knows Chris. Everybody knows Chris. Hail Sabin. Fucking hail Sabin, man. Come on. This should have been Sabin. Damn it. All right, moving on.
All right. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was interesting to see. Like I said, it was going to get a leg up on tomorrow night. We then get some highlights for Resurgence. We talked about that a little bit. They show the Good Brothers beating Mox and Nagata, and then the Gorillas of Destiny, GOD, showing up. And unfortunately, they had some technical issues. And because I'm assuming there was supposed to be at least a little bit of promo work going back and forth, but Carl Anderson's mic wasn't working, so they just said kind of screw the whole thing. And
yeah, although I'm hearing all this talk about beer guns and James Storm with Chris Sabin in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Little news: I did hear that James Storm's on the NWA anniversary show.
Yes.
So
yeah,
we all love ourselves some Cowboy.
There we go. Right. And I haven't heard any updates on Bobby Roode though, as far as what he's doing.
Yeah,
or contract situations or anything like that.
I know it's also coming up a lot about Shelley, because Chris Sabin's on this run because Shelley opted out, we'll say, due to real life things at the time. But he is back doing indie stuff. So we got to keep an eye, because if he's doing indie stuff,
wait, he is?
That means I don't know if he's done any yet, but I know during like All Out weekend he's back. So
yeah, he's
if
got
that's
a
the
GCW
case, then
show for someone.
If we don't see him back at Impact, then who knows what's going on there.
So what you're saying is that since they've sold out the United Center, they knew it would be a good time to bring the Motor City Machine Guns into AEW because they would get the pop they deserve. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
You're killing me tonight, Bill. You talk up all this Sabin shit, you get me riled up, and then you're like, nah,
I love Chris Sabin, but I want it for me. I want it for us. I want it for Impact fans at Bound for Glory.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Save it for Bound for Glory. I'll take that.
So
because they didn't get it when they came back at Slammiversary last year.
Right.
That was all no fans. The whole run was no fans. But I'm saying that, and I love Motor City Machine Guns because it's a team. But Sabin right now is a solo run. Yeah. It's better.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Shelly, and I like Shelly. Time Killers. Time Splitters. I love all these teams. But right now, Sabin's singles run's fantastic. I wouldn't mess with it.
Yeah, it is great.
Yeah. And any thoughts, anyone on GOD possibly showing up to face the Good Brothers at some point?
I think it's likely. I think it's very likely that it happens before the end of this year. I think we see them at a taping before BFG.
Well, and they've been even going back and forth on social media ever since since Kenny Omega showed up in the Impact Zone last year and started showing off all the old Bullet Club stuff. That got Tama Tonga riled up. He was shooting hard on him on his Twitch channel and social medias and stuff. Yeah,
it's definitely happening. It's just, will it happen at Impact?
Yeah.
That I don't know, because I know New Japan's running a ton of shows, some pay-per-views. It almost like there's a good chance it could happen at one of their big shows, and not at ours. But that there's that relationship. If maybe it's multiple matches and one of them's at Bound for Glory, I don't know.
It's got to be wrestle. Dude, Jay White's here, Tanahashi's here, Ospreay's here.
It would give them a big rub.
Suzuki's coming back starting next month. Like, they're bringing everybody over. It looks like they're shaping up for a Wrestle Kingdom type show with all their big shit they've been holding on to.
Well, they're amping up for a U.S. tour is what they're really doing. They're really building up this New Japan strong brand. And even with Ospreay they may don't be. All I'm going to say is I'm not super familiar with everything going on in New Japan, but just watching that Resurgence show from like an outsider looking in, to me, it looks like they're going to set up that brand with a whole new world champ to defend it in the States. That's the feeling I got.
Well, that's what they're doing with Ospreay's belt since he had to relinquish it due to
that's why that he's going to bring in his belt. That's kind of saying like we're going to do our own thing because honestly, New Japan in Japan isn't going to probably run in a normal setup for a while right now.
Long time. Yeah, they're not in shape to be running. That's why they're sending Tanahashi over and people like that because they can come work here. Jay White didn't go back to Japan; he came straight to the States because he can work.
Yeah, if we get a couple more, you see Okada and Naito, then you pretty much just call it. New Japan America is New Japan.
So since Bill and I were sitting next to each other at Slammiversary, he's been fucking pumping me up about Okada, and I keep saying, "There's no way." But we'll see. One day, Bill will be right or I will.
Christian Cage came back. There's a lot of things that have happened in Impact Wrestling. The Motor City Machine Guns came back.
I will concede
Okada will wrestle under an Impact banner at some point again. When? I can't guarantee when. I would love for it to be Bound for Glory, but there's a lot of real world things that need to happen for that to happen. Because I don't know if honestly he can get to the country by then. So it might be later. Maybe it's Slammiversary next year. Who knows? But I think it will happen. That's a full circle storyline. And right now, that's a very good relationship. So I think it's open. You won't like how it ends probably, but it will happen.
That's all right. It's all right. Oh, Alicia will be back. Don't worry. Settle down. Settle down, Courtney. It's a long night. We got to step away once in a while. It's all right. So
I never
continue. Sami and Eddie cut a promo in the back. Not exactly trading pleasantries, and I'm sure that's setting up something. But I feel like there's plenty of other stuff going on that we don't have to see another Sami Eddie feud. I feel like we should wait on that. That's
yeah.
me.
I don't think you're seeing it. It's always there. There's always going to be the underlying that even when working together, they don't like each other. So that's always going to be there.
Unless you think they're going to end up forming a tag team.
Oh, I've called that before. I think they got a tag title run in them for sure at some point.
Bison,
it's just
what
like
do you think about that?
It's Dreamer and Raven.
With regards to Motor City Machine Guns.
No. Talking about we moved on from that. We're talking about Sami and Eddie. They cut a promo on each other in the back, and I'm talking about a possible thing if this ends up turning into they actually work together or have to figure out how to work together as a tag team. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I mentioned that earlier. I think that's possibly where it's leading to. Is creating that kind of like, can they work together? Can they trust each other? All that kind of stuff. So I think it's more about, the possibility of working together in the future as opposed to necessarily having a feud again. That doesn't mean to say we wouldn't necessarily see that. Can I just say something as well, actually, talking about Sami, while we've got Sami here now.
Yeah.
Is he not looking a little bit more buff than normal? Or am I missing something here? Do we not think that he looked like he'd been getting himself back on the weights?
I don't know.
I think so. I think he looks smaller than he did at Slam. He looks more
lean. He looks more toned.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he looks more defined, a little bit more toned. He sort of kind of reminds me of when Buddy Ray sort of kind of started to tone himself back up again. All of a sudden, he got the 52-inch Python or whatever it was going on.
Calfzilla.
You had Calfzilla, but the difference was in his arms, wasn't it? Everything, he slimmed down. His arms suddenly beefed up, and you got that definition in there, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's what we're starting to see happen with Sami at the moment. I think over the next couple of months, possibly leading up to BFG or whatever, we're going to see a transformation in Sami getting a bit more, getting a bit more beef.
That's all I remember about. Bully Ray was him turning around and the spotlight always hitting his calves and, big zooming on his calves and saying, yeah, look at these.
Capsula.
Yeah.
Capsula.
Loved it. Then we get interesting match between Shera and Matt Cardona. Shera, of course, out there with Rohit, Raju. Matt Cardona flanked by Chelsea Green. One interesting that I took away from this was Chelsea Green not being afraid to get in the face of Rohit Raju.
Yeah, definitely.
That's funny. What'd you think of this, Alicia?
I didn't see it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Poor Alicia. He's being such a good sport, though.
You said you saw from locker room talk on?
Yep.
Okay.
All about the swing, man.
We'll catch on to that.
So wait, we'll check what this guy has to say about it.
Is it Odark? Because he's also owes my money?
Man, you motherfucker, you stole it. I had my finger on it.
Of course he owes my money. All right.
Sorry, there was just one thing I wanted to quickly say with regards to Shera. Okay, now, do you guys remember a kids' cartoon years ago called He-Man?
Oh yeah,
I grew up on that. Yeah.
Right, He-Man, the Master of the Universe.
Power of Grayskull.
That's right. Do you remember there was a spin-off called Shera?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, Shera or Shera.
Oh, what are you saying there? What are you saying?
I don't know. It's just difficult for me. Every time I see Shera come up on the screen, automatically I think Shera all the time. There you go. Just a little funny fact. Just a little funny thing there. For
So this
I see
is
it.
like the C
Hold on.
stars.
I gotta pull a Trent and stop this show 1 second, real quick. Is this really Butterbean? The Butterbean that knocked Bart Gunn the fuck out in the brawl for all?
No.
I
sure it's not.
doubt it.
Can somebody sleuth this real quick? Because if so, that's badass. Because that was like a really watershed moment for me in wrestling when the curtain kind of came off during the
I
brawl
love
for all.
Butterbean.
And I was like, what the? But no. Damn. Okay. Anyway, I'm terribly sorry to do
That's
that.
so random, though, to be
So
a fake
random.
Butterbean.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Is this like legit? Anyways, I'm sorry. Proceed with the chlorophyll.
We've had some real ones.
We've had major
some
stars
fake
on this
ones.
Yeah,
podcast.
we have.
Yeah, like what did we had? We had a moose show up
We
a
did
while
moose.
back. Yeah. So all right, well if it is Butterbean, hey, yeah, great.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
And Butterbean, a alumni of TNA.
Was he really?
Didn't he do a one-off that we reviewed?
Butterbean
I
thought he did a one-off
in
I
TNA.
don't. You talking about the early?
I'm not
pay-per-views?
Like a
I
silent.
don't remember him.
You're gonna have to Wikipedia that one.
I will. I'll have to check and it might not be like in ring action. Maybe it was during who was
Sweating,
it
I'm just
that
oily.
doing the clips that did like a. I'm almost thinking was he part of the Eric Watts package, but maybe wrong.
Eric Watts.
Remember Eric Watts had all those the names, the big names that were cutting promos for him.
Yeah.
I think
Pre-cameo.
he showed up there. Yeah, pre-cameo.
Maybe. I don't think he's ever actually been in the ring. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
that not that. I thought he may have appeared on programming once.
Maybe.
So, Mark, Shera
sir.
versus Matt Cardona.
My favorite part of this is the spotlight that Rohit Raju is getting out of this. Working with a guy like Matt Cardona, who, you know, he's got a big name. Like I'm enjoying Matt Cardona. I get he's not everybody's cup of tea, but the dude comes with a big following. I would say that's a high-profile feud. He's in there with Chelsea Green, who I didn't realize was so popular until the Knockouts T-shirts sold on eBay, and hers broke
There's
$1,000. And
a couple of them went for over $1,000.
Well, yeah, Rosemary had to flex her, her muscle and get the hive active, and Rosemary came in the highest at 1,220, I think it was. But
wow, that's awesome.
yeah, you can't when it comes to like that kind of stuff. Rosemary's the queen. Like there was.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Was that you?
No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. No.
Like, damn, you're balling, Bison. $1,200 for a cut up T-shirt. Shit. But anyways,
It's more likely this guy.
Right? It probably was that guy. I didn't realize that Chelsea had such like drawing power. So my eyes were kind of opened by that. So I really like Rohit in this spot. I did like the ending of the match. The match itself, to me, they maybe shouldn't have done this because Cardona is so big. He makes Shera look small, and they've been building Shera as nothing but a giant monster. So maybe this was a bad idea to put him in the ring together. It kind of exposes Shera in terms of size, but I thought he wrestled a good, solid match. He got Cardona up for a great slam into the knee. Shera just looked really solid. What? Am I going too long?
No, you're fine. I'm just.
I thought Bison was like. I thought Bison was like doing the hook thing, like pull his. ass.
Mark, sorry. No, somebody put in the chat about me having the best beard. I was just doing it.
Okay, gotcha. Anyways, that was it. I like the finish. I think Shera improves every time we see him. And I like where this is going. I'm interested in more Rohit Cardona myself, so I like this a lot.
All right. Cool. Bill.
Oh, there we go. I do love that.
Oh, yeah. He says, yes. Butterbean says, yes, I am the Butterbean. Just watched Impact tonight and found this live stream. And yes, Mark, I knocked the fuck out of Bart Gunn.
Dude,
wow.
that should be the tagline on the show.
That was a fucking watershed moment in wrestling for me as a a teenager. Like, oh man, what the hell?
And we all love seeing that.
Yeah,
like Bart, like the infamous Vince Russo. Let's get this tough guy wrestler, and then boom, he gets knocked.
Yeah, crazy moment.
Poor
Wow,
guy.
that's awesome. Well, welcome to the show,
Vince.
Butterbean.
Yes.
We are
And now,
happy to have you.
Did you watch the show tonight because of Christian Cage? Or are you a crossover? Is that what, or do you normally watch? Or did you just go, hey, Christian? Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That's a great question, though. Great question.
Or does he always watch Impact Wrestling?
He might
Actually, if you're in the chat, and you came over strictly because of Christian Cage, please let us know. I'd be curious to know.
Yeah, like anybody, let us know. Yeah,
Yeah.
leave comments. Let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I find interesting is that when we talk about Matt Cardona, they always mention on commentary that he's deceptively big. Like that they always talk about that. They always say like you don't realize how big this guy is until he's like, because he was actually taller than Shera, and they're always making out that Shera's a big guy and big powerhouse and all the rest of it. And then Matt Cardona comes along, and he's actually like a couple of inches taller, and he's massive. He's a beef. He's a beef as well. Big guy.
Yeah.
He is professional wrestler personified.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you think of Shera as a monster, like a huge guy, and Matt Cardona's like, oh, same height.
Taller and bigger. I mean, but Cardona is he has the. If you were doing a creator wrestler, you would get Matt Cardona every time.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Personality,
he was born, and this isn't saying because he was there, but if Vince McMahon had a play set in the 1980s to make I Want a Professional Wrestler, it would make Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like that's his image of professional wrestler.
Yes, very much so.
And honestly, it is the image of a professional wrestler in a lot of ways, so he's not wrong on it.
Well, yeah. He wore the flashy stuff well. He had a lot of charisma, but he was one of those guys where you could change him up a little here and there, and he just flowed with it. Because that's what Vince wants. He's like, all right, well, okay, we've had enough of this one persona. Let's change him up. If we can do that, then let's do that. If not, well, we obviously
we got news here.
Wow!
So now has everyone changed their opinion now?
The world famous baddest man on the planet, Butterbean. At one point in time, this dude knocked the fuck out of Bart Gunn. I remember. He says, a friend told me about Christian Cage was on the show, so I decided to check it out, and I'm glad I did. Very good show. I want to watch on a normal basis. Wow. So, okay. Proof's in the pudding. I mean, proof's in the pudding, right? Like Christian, he's a name. If they were going to sign him, they're using him well. This is how you do it. You lead a main event of a new show with him. You get the lapsed fans back, and you give them something to talk about. Yeah. So, here we are.
Yeah. And now here would be the question for fans in the chat. Butterbean, if you want to sound off on it, you can too. Do you even know who Kenny Omega is? Because I think that's going to be a lot of fans. Like they know who Christian is.
It's a tough question.
They don't know who Kenny Omega is. If you weren't an indie New Japan fan before AEW, why would you know who he is? You wouldn't.
I'm gonna actually quote Trent here since he's not here because it's a big thing coming from Trent. We all know like Trent and I are pretty much opposite on Kenny Omega, but he recently did say that this had proved that Kenny Omega was the only real draw in wrestling that hasn't been through the WWE system. I think this is a good test of that, right? Kenny Omega did prove he's a legitimate wrestling draw.
Yeah.
So the numbers went up, pay-per-view buys up, everything up. Now we can directly look at Christian and say, this guy came from here. What's the drawing power? Like, I think it should be interesting in that regard.
Oh, no, he is. Oh, no, he's a name, but he's not. He wasn't part of the machine to be a bigger name. Like you only can get so big without being part of the machine.
Right.
It isn't like when WCW was there and head to head. Like Sting was just as big a name, never going through the machine because WCW was bigger for a time. So he was fine. But today, unless you're really up there, you can only get so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, and of course, this is going to lead to Rohit Raju versus Matt Cardona tomorrow night. And I'm so used to saying this on a Saturday or Sunday. It's so weird that it's Friday. But, yes, Kenny Omega apparently once in a while back in the day danced with dolls. Hey, it's to each their own. There's fetishes for everyone. All right, we continue.
Finishes or fetishes?
Well,
both. Fetishes lead to finishes. Wait.
We continue. Dear God, that's certainly not that kind of happy ending. All right,
there it goes. That kind of and that solidifies. Like AEW, like, and that's what it is. Until AEW, most people wouldn't know because there just wasn't a platform. New Japan was barely on TV. His Ring of Honor run was minimal when I saw it years ago. So you probably didn't know Kenny from Ring of Honor, and they really weren't on TV either. So,
yeah. There you go.
Thank you, Butterbean. Thank you. So yeah, now on to locker room talk with Madison Rayne and one of the best co-hosts ever, Johnny Swinger, the Swing Man, back in the game with Madison Rayne. All right,
man, this was so good.
This was hilarious.
This was so good. It was so well put together.
The guest of honor here, or I guess you could say, Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K. So yeah, but Bison, what did you think of this?
I didn't know what to expect from this. Obviously, it was announced that we were going to get locker room talk, so I was excited about that because I was always a fan of it before anyway. So it came back, and I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. And then when they started doing that split screen thing, and you could see that they were both in the same seat and stuff, I was like, okay, this is interesting. And I love the fact that Madison's like, oh man, your set looks amazing. And she's like, oh yeah, you think you like it, And I just thought it was a really good segment. And one of my favorite bits was actually the Swinger and Caleb with a K kind of. Beef off or whatever you want to call it, which I
like how it's a beef off.
It's a beef off. I thought it was really good. I love the way that they did that was great. And again, Johnny Swinger was just fantastic. But Caleb with a K, he was just as good. So, and I'm sure obviously this is going to lead to more stuff in the future. But I thought it was great. I absolutely love. I was like, no, don't end. This is so good. I want more. I just thought it was really, really good, really, really funny. And I can't wait to see more. If they do it similarly like this again, like later on, more and more, I think it's going to be interesting, really funny. That's for sure.
Right. Let's go to Alicia because we know that she watched this segment.
Welcome to the show, Alicia. You're muted.
You got to take off mute.
You're still on mute.
I highly enjoyed it.
There we go.
I just want to point out, did anyone else notice that when they were split screen, they were in the same room?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just loved everything about the corniness and the
Which is
campness.
also Scott D'Amore's office.
Yeah. That's great. It's fun. I like where this is going.
Same. I thought this was the segment of the show. I laughed to tears at the end when Caleb and Swinger were using all their bits on each other. I actually had tears in my eyes. Like, I hope this wasn't a one-off. I'd be completely fine with locker room talk coming back to it's not Taste of Tennille. What's it called?
All About Me. Taste
All
of
About Me.
Tennille.
Yeah.
You're going for a
Taste of
YouTube
Tennille.
cooking show.
Yeah, All About Me. Yeah, I'd be really happy. The four of them together were fantastic. Yeah. And what I liked about Locker Room Talk this time, Locker Room Talk always does advance the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
This time it did so in a really important way, like letting us know that Madison and Tennille are here to team. Like Madison came back. It gave us the reason for why Madison is back. Right, and it kind of built that story together, and now we know that the Knockouts tag division just grew by a team. So I like this.
Yeah, the influence. Yeah. Okay, hashtag the influence.
It's like Swingers Palace, right? Swingers Palace always gave us storyline.
Yeah,
exactly. But what's interesting about this is for me is how you're going to bring in the former tag team of the Iconics, obviously, who have recently now calling themselves. Is it something like I forgot what it's called now. It was the
influencers or something?
No. That was the thing. It wasn't influencers, because I remember talking about this about a month or so ago. Where I was saying the influencers would have been a great name for them, coming from the Iconics into the influencers, and then they called themselves something else now.
The
inspiration. That's it. Inspiration.
And they actually said this in their promo.
Exactly. They're now called the Inspiration. So the fact that Madison and Tenille are calling themselves the Influence, I think effectively sort of kind of almost ties in with the fact that, possibly the new Inspiration are heading to Impact Wrestling. These are my fingers totally crossed for this.
Yeah,
so there you go.
I think my favorite part of this, of course, the corniness between Tenille and Madison Rayne just being all cheesy and putting each other over, but Swinger and Caleb going back and forth and starting to argue. That for me, that was absolutely priceless. Like, can we get I want to get Caleb versus Swinger in a match now.
I did write down. I like when Caleb goes, OMG, and Swinger goes, OMG, you booked one man gang, daddy? Swinger's a gem. Oh man, he's good.
Yes.
That was priceless. Loved it. So yeah, great segment. Great to see Madison Rayne back, and her and Tenille have, in my opinion, in my professional podcasting opinion, there. See, I got it in.
Smash this podcast.
Yes. They have an instant chemistry with each other. And I can't say that Tenille has had that with everyone. I will say she has absolutely improved over this last year. Charisma, in-ring, everything. Everything's just flowing now, it feels like. But working with a veteran like Madison Rayne, it's just gelling. So I'm glad Madison's back. I'm not going to knock her.
Madison's great.
Coming back, not saying, was she supposed to be retired? Oh, I guess it didn't last long. Okay, can we just be happy?
What kind of flex is that? That's what I don't get. Is what is the point of saying something like that to someone?
Right. Exactly.
And I've seen it. That's why I don't get it.
Yeah, it's wrestling. No one really ever.
It's just naysayers. The usual naysayers.
Well, I've said this once, and I've said it a million times. That's the great thing about Impact Wrestling. When they bring back veterans, they never stink up the joint. They always bring back great in-ring skills. They look like $1 million. Hell, even guys like Swinger. My God. I mean, we joke about it on a weekly basis because we always see him on the classic NWA TNA pay-per-views that we review, the Time Machine Tuesday. And it sounds like the same Swinger, only he doesn't have the shade and headband on. It's wild. So,
but I know everyone said kind of everybody else, and now it was great. My affinity for the Swingman, but kudos because he's underappreciated. Caleb with a K in both furthering Tenille in all this, along with Caleb's been fantastic. And we've seen Caleb before, he had an earlier run in Impact, but this is by far and obviously he's not going for titles and doing all that, but as a character, fantastic. And how he's advanced Tenille is as the male valet manager type role, which is almost unheard of right now. Although former TNA legend in his own mind, Robbie E, I know has been trying that to limited success, but this is that's how you do it.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
The bow tie on the neck brace, priceless.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah, the first of all, the neck brace, and then bow tying it like Joel Gertner. That's good stuff.
Yeah. A little bit of Heenan, a little bit of Joe Gertner. It goes a long way with older fans, certainly like myself. So yeah, that is going to lead to. Refresh my memory here. Okay, so Madison Rayne versus Taylor Wilde at Emergence. So
Correct.
that was also announced. Can't wait for that. Two veterans in the ring, gonna knock it out of the park.
Let's get wild.
Should we take a moment to pause and say goodbye to our brother from overseas, from the other side of the pond, who I know has
Other
to
side
get
of the
going.
pond.
Yes, brother Bison.
Bison taking off. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I
Hot
just
tag,
put it in
hot tag,
our
Bison.
little private chat. I can't. That's too sweet. Man.
Oh yeah, too sweet too.
I'm trying to go over.
You try to go over me, Jaybone? Go over like that. There you go.
Yeah.
And you pass it on. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Thanks much, Bison. I know it's
Great to have you, Bison.
No worries, guys. I'm sorry.
some
I'm starting to flag now. I think my 20,000 steps today in London is starting to catch up with me. And my eyes, like when your eyes start to get like real sort of kind of dry, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know that feeling.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
I'm getting to that point. I'm getting
Oh
to
wait,
that
hold on
point.
before you leave, Zach. Let's give him a tickle. Give him a tickle.
Gotta give it a tickle.
Give that bell
And
a
again,
tickle.
before I go, guys, don't forget, if you are new to the TNI channel, you need to hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. And don't forget, like I said, smash, tickle, or even squeeze the bell. Either way, make sure you do that so that you get
Do I have
to
to
see.
cough when I squeeze the bell?
Sometimes. That way you don't miss any of the great content, guys. So, and of course, Patreon as well. So don't forget about that. Anyway, guys, love you all. Take care, fam. And I will, I'm pretty sure I'll see you Wednesday if you're back Wednesday for Impacted. And I'm sure I might pop up
Tomorrow
again
night.
next week. You never know.
Emergence.
Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe. If Mrs. Bison allows it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Mrs. Bison is the boss in the Bison household. She definitely wears the trousers. I'm not going to lie. So there you go. I'm just being honest. Take care, guys.
All right.
See you
Cheers,
soon.
Bison.
Too sweet.
Good night.
Bye.
Take care. I'm not sure where the whole the squeeze. I mean, I'm trying to get used to the tickle thing, and then all of a sudden, I was producing the guys on Wednesday, and now we got this squeezing thing.
This is sick. This is sick. This whole place is going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, I gotta keep it real. I won't be participating in no tickles.
No tickles.
No tickles, no tapping, no nothing.
No squeezing. Of,
You got hair on your booty cheeks?
oh,
No, sir. I'm taking a stand.
that's
Go
okay,
Baltic
Alicia.
Boy.
I gotta admit, the tickle was one thing, but the whole. I can't. I feel like
I'll tell you, I don't know about squeezing bells. I know Trent lost his bell, but squeezing it,
In my ass.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Where's my Zach Morris? Damn it! I'm not close enough.
Off the rails. What?
It's hard to find.
Man, this is horrible.
There you go.
There it is. All right, let's.
Hold on, calm down, just breathe.
All
All right. Okay.
we need the
let's do this.
coach to get us through this.
Yeah, we're in the
Right.
final stretch here, gang. Let's do
Thank
this.
you.
Anyway,
All right.
on
go.
to the review.
There we go.
We got
Review, what?
Mean Giamilla with now this segment kind of went all over the place, and I know I'm going to miss something here, so I'm going to tag someone for this. Gia Miller interviewing Josh Alexander about his match coming up at Emergence with Jake something, and then Jake something comes into the picture in the same interview. Now I missed what was said between them, but then all of a sudden Jake something takes off and he's going down the hallway and he's walking up to Scott. Scott's talking to Caleb with a K. And I was like, oh, this ain't gonna end well. And we have an impromptu match happening on later. So did I miss? I know I probably cut out some details there. Anybody want to fill in?
Those were all the people that showed up.
I knew I at least got that. I gotta say the whole Caleb complaining to Scott DeBoer was hilarious.
Well, it was just kind of connecting, like, okay, there's one thing going on, but it's showing you, okay, that they went backstage and they're running into people, so it's the normal confrontations backstage.
Yeah, at least it all flowed together.
Yeah. It wasn't like the random, or like was this last week where we pointed out that it's like the referee like was just in the ring, and then it was on the throwbacks. Like Rudy Charles was like just in the ring, and then he's in a backstage segment immediately afterward. Like they don't do things like that.
And he wasn't even winded. Man, the cardio on that kid. My God. It's just wild. Then we get Christian Cage coming out. It's been 9 years since he's been in the company. Cutting a promo. We talked about this earlier. Some of us are more for it than others. But overall, I feel like the crowd there certainly was very positively receptive. Billy, were you there for this one? Oh yeah, yes. You said you were the one that screamed instant classic.
Yes.
Talk about this for a minute. The vibe of the audience there.
This is what I think of this one, and like I said, I think, and we even like with Butterbean earlier, it's like some people that may not have been watching heard it like, oh, let me check it out. Christian Cage is going to be on, and I think that they're going to get a lot of that. I'm hoping like ratings show that, but I think even like Trent, big TNA guy, right? He had issues with some of the Christian Cage after he was gone during that whole Hall of Fame thing and that exchange, and it didn't seem too keen on it. For a guy that was a TNA guy, you think would be more like, oh yeah, that's great. I remember being there. Cool. But you got to be fair. You got to look at that both ways and be like, he was working up there. He didn't really have a say in it. He was kind of forced to do it. So this is something different. I get the impression he's on board with this. I think he knew this when he signed with AEW, that this was on the table, and I think he welcomed it. I think he came back, and he's either a great actor or he seemed very sincere to me. When he cut this promo out there, I'm like, I think the TNA fans that may have been apprehensive, I'm hoping he won them over with this because he seemed genuine. He seemed like he talked about it. I think he showed respect to the title, which they kind of already had written out in storyline. But then Kenny was always carrying it around for whatever reason, just to look like another belt because it was unified already by Swan. But it seemed to make like now it can truly be put to rest by a guy that was a TNA guy. So it's like, okay, yeah. So that's a good way to do it.
It is.
So I thought that was handled well. But like even like acknowledging like the original, like the double C's, throw them up. Like that was, come on, that's back. That's instant classic, I guess. And like I said, I was a big fan of him. I think anyone watching during that time, but you look at it, that's one of those guys in wrestling. Most people don't have a bad thing to say about Christian. It's like they liked him in the ring. They like his promos. Like some of you like other people better, but nobody really is that negative on him. And him coming back and having a last run here in some capacity, I'm happy with. Like I said, I was on board with the Kenny stuff. I think that was good for the company, but I think it had run its course. I think the momentum they had was dying out for Kenny as champion. Like it wasn't bringing, like initially it brought ratings and pay-per-view buys.
Yes.
I don't know if it still was. I'm not sure if that really, like I know Slammiversary still did well. I'm not sure how much of that. What's that?
Do we know the number, the pay-per-view buy number on Slam?
I'm not sure. It probably was out there. But there was a lot of others. Like, I don't know how much he's selling it at this point. I don't think he's hurting it, but I don't think he's having that overall effect. So I think a little change here, I think that could be something that, like I said, with the Christian, I think that more of the, like, oh, when he came back at Rumble and everybody was like, Christian's back. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I think that will get a little more interest here. And there is that TNA. There wasn't going to be a good ending for the Kenny storyline. I think I was already resolved to that. It was going to be such a dirty finish. I don't think it would have made anybody happy when he eventually lost. So And then who we put over, who knows if that would have been anything. So I think the Christian thing, I'm okay with this. I'm happy with it. And I thought this promo won me over. I thought it was a good promo.
Yeah, and
what was that? I went right off. I see.
Oh, hold on. I decided I
crazy.
shouldn't. I decided I shouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Because it might be
spoiler.
No, not spoiler. Just I don't know if it's real, but read that comment when you get a chance. I'm going to build on what you were talking about. The Christian Cage thing. Like you're right. I've never been a huge Christian fan, but I don't hate him either. To me, he's a solid performer. He's a guy who can cut a competent promo. Like he's just. I liked his run in TNA. I thought he was cool in the Brood, but I was never invested in him in the Brood because he was so new at that point, and I was all about Gangrel back then. But I agree that this was in the cards maybe since before he even signed. The very first time he showed up on Dynamite, he ran into Omega in the back. His very first match was with Kaz. Original music. He had the micro brawler. Just all these things. He ran into
trading
Omega.
Card.
Yeah, he ran into Omega at every Dynamite for those of you that don't watch AEW. Even if it was a minor interaction or he interacted with the Elite in some way, him and Kazarian circled back around. Kaz took on the Elite Hunter character. It's clear that there were plans for a lot of this well in advance. So I'm going to give it a lot of leeway, even though I don't like it personally. I see a ton of potential in this. So I definitely think that it's something to be excited for to a degree, even if I'm not a Christian fan. So do you like that?
There you go. Alicia, your thoughts on this promo and the segment with Brian Myers?
I will say that I don't think the Christian being champion is gonna last long, so let's just enjoy it while it lasts. And I find it's very interesting. Well, of course, obviously we knew that Brian Myers won that contender spot. I was just really hoping that Sam Beals would make a brief return of the fingers to just kind of paintbrush Christian Cage under the nose.
Sam, or if you're listening, please make this happen.
Other than that, it was really fun, and welcome back.
Got our boy Sam Beal over.
Sam Beal was in the chat last week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was he? I missed that.
He came in to shout out Bill's shirt. Bill was wearing a Sam Beal shirt. Perfection, baby.
Tremendous. It's the whole fingers under the nose thing. Oh my god.
You should bring it back. I do think Myers was wrong.
Really?
Yeah, man. He should totally bring the fingers back. I like the way it makes Alicia's skin crawl. It's worth it for the reaction.
I don't know. I think Myers
it's totally worth it.
The coach of Brian Myers, I might be right on that. Sniffing of the fingers. I'm not sure if that ever works.
We're talking about it. It's
in that
emojis
field
in our Discord.
20 years ago, it would have been something that DX did. Not today.
Yeah, like maybe that works in the Attitude Era, but I don't know about today.
Today, it's more like, yeah.
No, it's definitely cringe. That's why I wanted him to stop doing it. But I felt like in this moment, I would have allowed the return for just that brief interlude.
Just to hit somebody else with your fingers.
What if
Christian... It's weird if you're sniffing your own. It's like, what the hell?
That's weird.
What if Christian does it to Sam Beal during the match?
Ooh.
Then I will laugh even harder.
Christian will become my favorite.
Captain Charisma.
There you go, Captain. Captain something. Captain Insano. No. That's another guy from another thing. So yeah,
we'll see him soon.
So Christian, we can only hope. Hopefully the doorway's big enough. Christian Cage retires the TNA title officially
To David Penzer.
David Penzer very gracefully carries it to the back. Thank you, David Penzer, for not dropping the classic title.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, he missed putting it in my bag, but that's okay.
Nice you were on the corner for that one? Yeah. I mean,
I was. I think the camera. I think I did know because I was watching that one, and I think because I think you see me turned around because I was watching where my eyes were trained on the belt. I was following the belt as it left.
It's a nice belt. I hate to see it go away.
He was going to snatch that belt. Yeah,
I'm sure that went in Scott D'Amore's personal collection.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, and I do like once we get into Myers here, we did get some good name drops.
Oh yeah, the Shark Boy, yeah,
Shark Boy and D-Ray 3000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was good. That was some good callbacks there. Yeah, so Brian Myers and Sam.
There
Beal
you go.
come out.
There's David.
There he is.
Poolside Penzer waiting for his moment. He's been
There
sitting
he
here the
is.
whole time, just waiting.
He was
waiting.
just waiting because he knew we were going to talk about him. So I think, and hold up that sign again, Bill. Just because now we're going to reference it. Now we got to talk about it. So this is the sign. Of course, it looked like it was in better shape when he was holding it up.
Yeah, actually, after it's been rolled up.
Yeah. So Sam Beal was holding this up behind Myers, and I couldn't read what it said at the time.
Yeah, it is spelled correctly.
But okay, it was because we weren't sure about that when we were doing the watch along. Christian, not my champ, reads the sign. And we thought that was hilarious. Of course, Sam Beal's going to support Brian Myers, even though Brian Myers tossed him out of the match last week.
But it did work. The end result was what they wanted.
It is. It is. Go ahead, Mark.
So I just got a tweet from Eli, who's in the chat. The reason it took them so long to get back to the ring after that crash pad powerbomb or lowdown between Doering and LG, someone cut their penis during that spot before they got back to the ring to finish.
That's a no good.
I guarantee I know exactly who it was too.
I do too.
He didn't look too happy when he landed.
Thinking back on it, I do too.
They kind of lingered on his face for a little while at a particular angle.
Sitting there, going like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's brutal injuries and then there's brutal injuries.
So they both looked like they were dying. So now you got to just say.
And that's the guy. I think you guys are going differently than I think.
Oh,
but
really?
I'm just thinking about the angle of things going down in physics, bro.
Alicia, what do you think? Who do you think?
It was what's his name? The big
Gallows.
No, Gallows. Yeah.
I think it was Gallows as well. I think
I thought they both thought it was Gallows.
You think it's Doering?
I think it is, but nothing can happen to Joe. So he would just say,
"That's true."
It doesn't hurt me. It hurts it.
Oh, just the way he came out of there second, and
I'm broken.
From you. Whose PP was cut tonight? Sound off, chat. We want to hear from you. And if you're watching this on replay, please comment. If you are listening on audio, let us know in the comments on Twitter. Let us know on the Discord whose PP took the cut tonight on Impact Wrestling.
Dear God.
Dick hurts.
We've become the Stern Show right now.
Where's Robin?
So that's the lawyer. That's the lawyer that they're gonna call. They're gonna call Counselor Dick Hurts.
What are we, 12?
I'm trying to figure out Bell's boy who cut their pee-pee. Somebody.
I believe it was Gallows. I'm sticking to that. He just landed strange.
Okay, so Eli says here, it was Doc Gallows, by the way. He responded to Tommy Dreamer.
I have to see the response.
Did someone announce this on Twitter? Like, hey, someone got their their sack scrapped. Like,
Dreamer tweeted it out.
That sounds like something Dreamer would do. That son of a bitch.
Like, hey guys, guess what? Doc Gallows got
wild at this point.
Tommy's seen every injury on earth.
He's got nothing to lose, man.
Exactly. What are they going to do? You know, it's a little rib amongst brothers there.
I feel bad for the big LG. Whew.
So, man, I guess we got even more reasons now to call him Dangly.
Little
Dangly.
Gary's savage. Little Dangly got split. Damn.
Right.
All right. I seen Tommy's tweet an hour ago saying, was it Big Joe or Big LG? Not my story to tell.
Oh,
It was a reply.
It's not my story to tell, but here, let me bring it up. Let's
And
vote on
here's
it.
an LG's response. It's an effing travesty and bullshit, Tommy. Can we leave the penises out of it? Let me see if there's any other. That's the only response. Where does that make you think it's Big LG?
That's what Eli said in the chat.
Because he just responded to it. He didn't say anything regarding it. I'm sticking with Big Joe because Big Joe shows no pain.
well,
Wait, you think Joe just took a peek?
Joe was limping.
And he wouldn't
I
show
don't
it,
believe
man.
it.
But
I
did you
don't
see
believe
the
it.
look, the eyes afterwards on the come down?
It was intense.
Because he felt bad for Gallows being sick. Why are we still on this?
I blame Tommy Dreamer.
You're telling me Joe Doering is such a badass? He could take a cut to the
No,
Damn right
I don't
he
believe
can.
it.
I barely understood about half of that.
It's about PBs.
Oh,
Jaybone's like, I don't even know what's happening. We're over 2 hours. The boys are back, y'all. Fuck it. We're going on 3 hours now. Let's do this damn thing.
I just can't believe we haven't played this yet.
I have seen that penis.
Oh, well, I know we've definitely just talked about that penis.
Well, you know, we saw it after the show.
Right?
Dr. Ross.
So, oh,
Dr. Ross has seen that penis.
Hey, gotta check out things, man.
poor doctor.
And now turn your head and cough.
Jumped off stage. He was like, see you guys later.
He was well, now you know how they were interacting with him. They kept pushing him away.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't got to worry about my legs and my arms. There's something else going on here.
We have
God.
we have gone over 2 hours now. My God. All right. Melina versus Brandi Lauren. We haven't seen her in a while.
Hey,
You're telling me this guy can't take that type of shot and deal with it?
You telling
No.
me that? Wiener injuries are
You tell
serious, though, man. That's like a
So
step above
sensitive.
The dude just put a lariat on a guy's cancer in the brain. Come on.
That's true. It's a true story.
I mean, with that accurate depiction of him knocking
It
cancer.
really happened. That's a real life picture.
That's a photograph turned comic image. Real life. You heard it here.
Roto he really did that. He really fucking did that, Alicia. He really
Yeah, I know. I was there. I saw it. We're going to be full of shit. Might as well. Yeah, I was at that Blackcraft show right after the guy got crucified for 45 minutes.
We're so fucking far off.
That would have made that Blackcraft show good.
Joe Doering braining cancer? Yeah, definitely.
That'd be the best thing on that show by far.
He'd be a hero.
This is even better here. Thank you, Bell's boy. Mr. P. Nuss, lawyer from Down Under. All right, we continue. Dick jokes all night. Alicia, let's discuss this Melina versus Brandi Lauren match.
Yeah, this is horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. Moving on.
Yeah, not this.
Really?
The knockout segments are never bad. Never. Deonna Purrazzo, never a bad segment. Let's move right past this one.
Not impressed with the missplits, hey?
Not impressed with a single thing about this segment. It was sloppy. The ending sucked. Melina's not believable as a real threat. This whole thing was the only really low point of a great episode. This segment sucked shit.
I'm gonna have to watch this one back more closely. I know I remember I was distracted with something.
You were distracted by by a few things there, Jaybone.
Brandi Lauren is distracting, yes.
I don't know what you're talking about, Bill. Well, I mean, I'm still looking forward to the match between Melina and Deonna Purrazzo. I still don't think that Deonna Purrazzo is going to have a bad match.
No.
No,
hopefully.
she won't. She can't.
She won't.
Yeah,
well,
she won't.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Thank God for her.
No, I gotta admit.
Hey, hold on. Wait. But team, you're wrong.
Yeah, no, I disagree. I didn't think it was bad. I wasn't there in person. I didn't see this one. So this was my first time seeing it. But I thought, like, was it a Deonna Purrazzo match? No. So if that's what you're looking at, like that caliber of a level, no,
definitely not.
It wasn't supposed to be. But was it Melina first time in a Impact ring ever? I thought that was all right. All right, there we go, Melina. And then
life would have been the same if it never happened.
I my biggest criticism of the match was Matt Stryker because he was being playful. You might know where's Ava. She tells a story. Come on, Stryker. Just say it was Ava's story. Either if you're not going to use the name Ava's story again, just say formerly known as. Like the whole pussyfooting around her name was weak. But I liked her the first time around. I said on the watch along, I thought like she was green back then, obviously, but I thought she had some potential. So I'm not against that. And Melina for her purpose here, I think that's fine. I think it's interesting because we've seen like the returns of ODB and things like that for short programs. Melina's never been here for a big name that doesn't have any history to now make an appearance. I think that's interesting. For like, I don't think she's going to be part of the long time roster or anything.
Yeah,
but that was good too.
That was good. The Treehouse segment was fantastic. That was great.
Trey. Yeah, that was
But this whole thing afterwards, like, I don't know. This just didn't. I thought this was a good episode, solid all the way around, except this segment.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I haven't seen her wrestle in forever, honestly. Like for some reason, I don't think she's been on like any indies or anything that I've been to, unless she was at a Chikara King of Trios. Maybe I saw her there, but I don't think I did. But I was pleasantly surprised. I thought like she's still very athletic, obviously, and everything. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is all going to lead to Matthew Raywald joining Deonna Purrazzo in a match at Emergence versus Melina with Trey Miguel. So,
cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be all right. I mean, I got to say, watching Melina come back last year during the NWA run in front of the audience that was there before COVID hit. It was okay, but anything beyond that was like, yeah, I gotta agree. I'm not gonna say she's completely sucked, but it just felt we'll just say it felt a little
disjointed.
Yeah. That's as harsh of a criticism as you're ever going to get from Jaybone. What that translates to is, I hated this. It fucking sucked. But Jaybone would never say anything harsh. No. Jaybone's, it wasn't for me.
Mark is his anger translator.
Jaybone's too nice to say it was bad. Jaybone's like, it wasn't for me. That means fucking horrible, man. I fast forwarded through it.
I gotta watch it back, and I'll think about it.
He was
want a full report tomorrow.
Some more constructive criticism tomorrow. Yeah, there we go.
Now, Road and Blues. See, you guys are acting like this, and Road and Blues here, and I know a lot of people because they reference this because I guess there was some type of show that called me out during a match involving Shelly Martinez during the Knockouts Knockdown matinee show in front of like 35, 40 people. But that's considered like one of the worst matches in history. But that's how you guys are acting. It definitely wasn't that.
Oh no, I wouldn't give no.
It was not on her level. It wasn't just the match. It was the segment. It was sloppy afterwards. It said something that no one cares about. It was the whole package. This 7 minutes of show was a complete waste of time. That's how I feel about it. Not just the match, not just Melina, even Deonna's part, which she's like my fucking favorite in the world. This whole thing did not work for me. Like, that's just where I was with this. Great show, shitty segment.
Critical State remembers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he does.
That's where that comes from. That's the match.
That's the one.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we continue. So we got me and Giamilla with someone new here, John Schuyler. He got the upset, shocking win over Matt Cardona next week. With a little help from Rohit, Raju, and crew. So they're in the middle of an interview, and all of a sudden the camera pans away, and Juice Robinson is writhing on the floor in a fetal position. I don't think he's pregnant. I think it's something else. But his tag team partner is tending to him. So, yeah, it looks like someone attacked Juice Robinson. Who do you think attacked Juice Robinson? And then we'll go back to John Skyler in a second.
Chris Bay.
Ooh.
It's a good guess.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, with the whole club thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
probably.
Just going with the obvious.
He just finessed his ass.
Chris Bay,
Yeah.
it can be sneaky, or it could just hit you with a pipe. It's all finesse. All of that's finesse.
I never thought of a pipe being finesse.
It is when Chris Bay does it because he's Chris Bay. The finesse.
I suppose. Yeah.
Finesse.
Yeah.
And eventually he's going to turn on Jay White and get that never openly talking to.
Oh, but he
Chris
just
Bay,
he just got there.
That's all right, but not right away. Like when Rachel Ellering turns heel, Chris Bay going to turn on Jay White and get that never openly championship.
So never.
Oh yeah, I backed myself into a corner on that one.
Never. All right, now let's back up here. Thoughts on, because I wasn't around last week. I want to go around the horn. Thoughts on John Skyler? His number one, his match, and then it looks like he may be joining Impact Wrestling. I haven't heard any confirmation, but if he's getting in, interview segments the next week, that's a pretty good sign. Let's start with Alicia.
I have no recollection of him from last week, so I guess this is good. Good for him. You're doing good.
Watch the match back with Matt Cardona.
I will.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
That was the match that I actually stepped out to do something real quick and came back, and Cardona was getting pinned last week, and it was like, what the hell's going on around here? Come on, man. I don't know this Skyler guy. Which I don't think I do, but what a spot. Like, it's almost kind of like a Sam Beal situation.
Right.
To come into a spot like this. I mean, I don't know. Good for this guy. We'll see what he can do. I honestly don't have enough to give an opinion that counts for shit really on him yet.
I hear you. All right, Bill.
This is a tough one. Skyler is an interesting one because I see I knew about him a little bit, not a lot. I think he was on like maybe one indie show I was at, and I know he did like AEW Dark, but so does everybody. I assume someone on the panel's been at AEW Dark, but so all right, so there's that. But I'm not sure. Like Sam Beal, you could see that something in Sam Beal, and Sam Beal's big. He is bigger. John Skyler's smaller, like pretty small. So that limits you, like where you can use them really. And I don't know. We'll see if he might surprise me a lot with promos as we go forward. We'll see about that. We got a little taste of him here. I'm not sure. I'm willing to give him a chance and see what happens. He's definitely getting some heat because for a who are you type guy.
Yeah.
So and like this getting Cardona, like that's like whoa. Like I know it was through Dusty Finish, but that's a pretty big rub for a guy. Sam Beal didn't get that rub, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with him. Like I'm just not sure. I need to see a lot more. It's too little right now, so maybe give it about a month or so, and we'll see what it's looking like.
Go look up some of his stuff on YouTube. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I became a fan of his back when I was watching Flow Slam a handful of years ago. He was doing some indie stuff there, and I became a fan of his. And then I hadn't seen him around for a while. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, yeah, like I said, some of these indie guys start showing up on, AEW Dark, Elevation, or whatever it was. And So yeah, I'm really excited for him. He's kind of like one of those guys that fell under the radar for a while, kind of almost like a JT Dunn in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a real big in stature, but then hell, look at guys like Sami Callihan. But I know he's kind of unique. So,
he is unique, and that's the thing. That's where I think you just hit it. What I'm thinking, because a guy of that stature has to be pretty unique to stand out. Yeah, and my initial look at him is not unique. He seems very normal. So what's going to wow you from that? And obviously something could, but like I said, very limited. We'll see what kind of gets beyond the surface with him.
Oh yeah, I've heard this too. Ronan here says he's part of Gallows crew. Yeah, I think I heard he's done some Lariato pros.
Yeah, I think that's where I saw him when I went to the Lariato show.
It's almost like an unofficial pipeline to Impact these days.
It is
kind of a get to meet Scott and Gallows.
Well, because Scott's been at many of those Lariato shows, so they're definitely scouting the talent.
He's even been billed as talent on it before on one of those shows before, I think, right? I didn't see that one. I don't know what he did.
So I'm willing to do it. I think like Sami had an eye for a lot of Ohio talent that came in Impact Wrestling. I think Doc has a good eye for stuff down in Georgia too. So nothing wrong with that.
Utah a lot, like Manny Lemons and several other people, right? Too that went through there, Utah and Georgia. Is there some kind of connection?
Yeah, so they've been making the rounds. Like I think that's more Georgia because I think it's like Georgia, Florida based. Like guys in that area, but I know he's out of that area, Manny at least. Manny Smith last time we saw him on Impact.
Oh, you're right. That's right.
So,
but he's been Manny Lemons before.
Manny Smith. I forgot about that. I wonder why they changed his name. Don't know.
I think honestly, it was more when you're trying to establish a guy to beat guys that you go for the most generic name possible. As like Manny Smith.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because if not, you have his whole gimmick, his whole lemon gimmick.
And you're ruining it, you're destroying the gimmick. Yeah.
Oh, and then Ronan there also says he did some stuff at OVW. Which
there you go.
Still a pipeline. Shera's doing stuff there right now.
Yeah, there's still a close connection there. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We got they got footage of Jordan Grace in the lifting challenge
which is great.
we heard about a few weeks ago. Congrats
with her best
to
friend.
her. Yeah, her best friend took the footage.
Best friend.
I feel like this adds fuel to Trent's fire in regards to there being a turn. They're gonna.
How does it add fuel to the fire?
Because it just seems weird that it's been a couple of weeks since that happened, and all of a sudden now they got perfect footage of what Rachel freaking out about Jordan winning this thing, and you know what I mean? It's perfect single white female shit.
Dude, I love that you're such a true crime fucking head. Clearly, always looking for the fucking criminal angle of why this is you're such a online detective.
we need women's tag teams, so they gotta stick this out for at least a couple months.
Yeah, we have needed women's tag teams, and most our women's tag teams seem to get fired or leave right after they either get a contendership at the championship or a belt. So
that's happened every time.
I would love to encourage a women's tag team roster, but at the same time, Impact hasn't really given us much faith in a women's tag team roster. So what do you want from me? Right. I can't blow smoke up everyone's ass every fucking week about certain shit. You know what I mean?
No, I completely hear you there. Yeah,
women's tag. It was a wonderful build. The tournament was awesome, and it was the right decision at the end, and I think we all loved it. But it was clear that they weren't prepared to carry the ball after that, and it's been hobbling.
It was very short-sighted, I feel like, and now we're just kind of dealing with the consequences of not really having a vision.
Yeah. It's hobbled the entire division, unfortunately. Even the
don't get me wrong, love what's going on with the matches and stuff like that, but I'm not banking on long-term teams here. You know what I mean? It just seems to be every team that's thrown our way is a means of convenience.
Agreed.
Well, that was the first go around with the Knockouts tag titles as well. You really had the beautiful people as the anchors in that division.
Yeah.
And then kind of made up teams. except for then you had a pretty long run from Sarita and Rosita for a bit as well.
Which was good.
And that's what I think. I think you need one more team that's going to be an established long-term team, and you're good. You don't need a lot. You don't need like, they need to hire 3 or 4 tech. No, too many, way too many. You need like a solid tag team, and maybe one of your other teams already there to get more developed. If that's Rachel and Jordan, great. Could be somebody else, but if it's them, they already won the titles once. Establish them long term. You already have Decay, who's completely over, and if you get the former Iconics or if it comes to Neil and Madison, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, it could be a sneaky build to a division. So there are some things too that I think we know are coming in the division. I see being talked about in the chat that's going to hobble it a little bit that people aren't aware of yet too within the tag division. So we'll see where it goes. I know. Here's the thing: like when Alicia's quote unquote shitting on it, or I'm shitting on it, it's because we fucking love the knockouts and we want this tag team division to be bad fucking ass, and it's not.
Right.
Like it's just been misstep after misstep, and we have faith in the creative, but like until you put bodies in the division, the creative doesn't mean shit. And we need some consistent teams. Like I get what Bill's saying. I think you need a few more. Like 3 solid teams would be good. Bring in the Sea Stars, or I don't know who's out there in the Indies. You guys would know better than me. But
we've been saying that for a while too.
Yeah. It's just kind of frustrating with the division.
Yeah, like Impact, you look at it, like they had for one time it was almost just the North. That was it. That was their tag team. Then they had the Rascals. Oh, the Rascals should win the title. No, they shouldn't have. They had no business winning the tag titles, honestly. But let's be serious for a moment. They were a comedy tag team.
There was a moment when they could have, though.
They could have. Oh,
right.
I was there with Trent when they almost won them. They thought about doing it, but then I think they went.
You guys were all there.
Alicia was there too.
That was the moment.
I think they went back and went, "Are we going to put the tag titles on these guys? Are we serious about this? Should we? Does that make sense?"
They should have.
I can't disagree with them not doing it though. Like I think they probably did make the right long. If they did do it, I think they would have to take it off them quickly thereafter.
Right. I get what you're saying. The gimmick has a ceiling for sure.
The gimmick has a ceiling. That's the thing.
They earned that run though. The one you're talking about, they were primed for it at that moment.
They were. That was in the time. If you were going to do it, that was the time to do it. But then they elected, you know what? We're not going to do it. So then they were never going to do it. But you have to repackage, unless they got repackaged like Trey got repackaged. They like Trey's going to win the X Division title.
Yeah, eventually.
Trey, as part of the Rascals, was not going to win the X Division title.
Right. Correct. Yeah. I agree.
Okay. Yeah, I hear.
We've had this discussion about the limitations of that awesome gimmick. It's a great gimmick.
Great gimmick, but it's a comedy fun gimmick.
It's a lower mid card at best gimmick.
Yeah.
But I fucking love the Rascals. Let's not make any mistakes about it.
We're treehouse biased.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Absolutely.
Treehouse. All right. So congrats to Jordan Grace on all her accomplishments.
Yes.
I know she broke some records there. So
she'll body slam everybody now.
Right? Yeah. Well, she's got to lift them.
Deadlift.
Yeah, deadlift them first and then throw them the hell out of the building. Caleb with a K, neck brace in tow with a pretty little bow tie on it. By the way, I gotta say I love his hair color.
Yes.
Versus Jake something. This one did not last long, but it was still fun. And Caleb even took a hell of a spear through a table, and then
Trooper.
Yeah.
And he sold it unlike some other people on TV.
Oh God! See now that time you guys can't blame me for bringing up AEW.
You've stepped over the line now. You've taken it too far.
Yeah, that guy right there, yeah, dude. He went through a freaking double suplex through a table and stood the fuck up.
I don't like that no sell table powerbomb shit, but he looked fucking great, dude. He looked awesome in that match. He looked great in that match. Man, exactly. I was shocked. I was shocked at how good he looked in that match. Yeah, it looked like Sting. I was fucking warm all over. Like I was a little fucking stinger last night. It was awesome. Always be a little stinger.
You were warm all over from that shit you were smoking. Anyway.
And I was a little stinger, and he was stinging some motherfuckers like crazy last night. But we're better than Monday Night Raw. Fuck that shit.
Right.
All right, moving on. Jake destroys Caleb is where we were.
So yeah, Jake destroys Caleb. There's really not too much more to say than that.
Okay, all the people that were like, "Where's Jake's push?" Well, what's the deal with Jake? It looks like he's getting pushed.
It's slow.
It's slow. I was just gonna say, I agree, but it's so slow. Like, and I know
it is slow,
but it's slow.
Jake something is one of those guys. He really doesn't have a gimmick, so you gotta be. I don't know how to say this.
You have to approach things differently with a guy like Jake something.
Right. I mean, he's talented. He can cut a promo. He's gone through all the goofy shit with Diener. So now it's getting him out of that. So it's like, all right, so now we got to make him believable. You did it with Diener. You made him a little psycho. And now, okay, so now we got to take Jake something and transform him into this total badass. And you can't, that's the thing is those of us who have been watching him for a while in companies like AAW and the indies, we get it. We've been watching it for a while. But for Impact fans, that's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah. So it's very different. You got to remember, like, if you're up north, right? What would happen if they had a cousin Jake character and they wanted to turn to Jake something? They take him off TV for like 6 months.
Yep.
Then reintroduce him slowly.
Yeah.
Impact's doing that on TV. It's like a week or two goes by, and now you have the beginning of the Jake something character. Like that's how quick, but then it's slow.
If you're trying to think of a guy that was on the roster that looks like Jake something, I'm thinking of Tucker. He's like, oh no, you just fire him.
Jeez.
Well, and I think also, to be fair,
that was the other option.
To be fair to Jake, I think some of his momentum has been impeded by all the interpromotional stuff going on.
Yep.
Is a complaint of a lot of the longtime panelists here, which I understand. Like, Jake is not where he maybe could be if there weren't so much going on around the company. So, but that's always going to be the case, right?
And the company is always evolving. That's the thing, and that's wrestling. That's every company does that. So when the timing is right, I mean, I think this match he's got coming up with Josh Alexander, I'm loving it. I've seen it before, but this is for a title now. This is different. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go watch some AAW from a couple months ago.
United We Stand, I think it was.
Yes, they put on a 20-minute draw and absolutely beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, stole that show. That was
amazing.
Killer match.
Match of the night, in my opinion. So,
wrestling
in my professional podcasting opinion,
we have just still yet to see the old miner, though, or hear the old prospector. Yeah, the old prospector has not made an appearance.
Oh, I ain't got the energy for that shit.
You don't got old prospector energy.
Oh,
prospector's got our energy.
There it is, guest prospector from Bill.
All
right.
We're a half a fucking hour behind. We got to keep this shit going. All right. There you go. So, quick promo from Su Yung and Kimberly.
Kelly Clarkson.
What?
For your version reference.
There you go. At least be cakey on the ball down there.
I'm really good at useless trivia.
Hanging.
Completely missed what
I missed it too. Yeah, sorry. I watch 48 version all the time.
Pulled out. There's only one. There's only one thing to say to that.
Oh dear God! All right.
I didn't realize you were responding to the comment.
So Kimberly is. How did the dialogue go for this one, Alicia? Do you remember?
I just know that Kimberly held up Kira's blue hair and was like, "I stole a soul for you, mother."
Yes,
and I'm gonna take more or something for you. Can we just direct the calling or Kimberly referencing Su Yung as mother?
That is interesting. She's done that,
and she's been doing this since they came back, and so I think there's indicating some things here. Pay close attention, is what I'm saying.
Yes,
there is something going on here. I don't know if it's going to lead to something with Jim Mitchell, or
well, all undead realm roads lead to Jim Mitchell. So
it's inevitable.
You booked this.
Exactly.
Will be the core of this story at some point.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing.
No,
you know?
Absolutely not. I love this Sue Kimber shit, by the way.
Yeah, Kimberly, and this is so refreshing for her.
She plays Twisted very well.
I don't have the character and historical investment in Kimberly that like Alicia does,
Mm-hmm.
but I think she's a great worker, and I think while I liked her with Deanna, I realized that her opportunity and her time was being spent as a hench instead of, moving up the ranks. So I'm very happy to see this for Kimber because now they've given her a character I'm attached to immediately too. So this works for me a lot.
They're putting her on the path to knock her up the ladder towards the belt, I believe.
Yeah. This is definitely the moment that we've all been kind of waiting for Kimberly. She's been a workhorse, but now it's time to kind of get some of the, she's paid her dues. So
yeah.
It's very interesting. Like
I have the runs.
Oh dear God. Go ahead, Alicia.
I was just going to say, because Gary says, well, if Sue Young is the mother of Kimberly, I could only imagine who the father is. It's a metaphorical mother, not a literal, because they're like the same age. It would be physically impossible.
Because
in the undead realm.
It's just
who knows where time goes.
It doesn't work like that.
Even in the undead realm?
Even in the undead realm.
Sue Young created this.
Exactly. So in a way, it's like, yeah, she did give birth to her, just not the way. Not the way you're thinking, sir.
Yeah.
Well, if you want it to be that way, you just have to see the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, Old, and it could work that way. You just go to a beach for a little bit. And
God, yeah, that movie was fucking weird.
I haven't seen it yet.
I might say it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, so
of course it's gonna be weird.
Progress with caution.
Yeah. Indeed.
Anyway, so moving on before this turns into 3 hours.
Dude, we've reached the main event at 2.5 hours. How are we going to stretch this to 3?
No, I don't want to.
I gotta work in the morning, bro. Like this is pushing it.
Dude, but it's gonna be my birthday in 7 minutes. Then you guys can all sing happy birthday on air.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. All right, well, we'll do 7 more minutes and that's it.
We'll talk very
might as well start
paced.
now. By the time you go through the plugs,
can you
work for you?
I can't believe how many people are still listening to this garbage that we're spending right now. Like, it's unreal to me.
They're just as twisted as we are. Don't let them fool you.
It's true. Absolutely true. That's why we like them. All right, moving on. Anyways,
main event. We got an absolute banger.
Dick Slobberknocker. Wait, no, Dick Banger. I was going to say a Slobberknocker, but then
it was a Dick Slobber. Wait. It was
Slobberknocker. But then I realized how terrible, like, it ended badly. That was a bad joke. It was supposed to be Slobberknocker, and then halfway through, I'm like, wait, do I want to reference this? And then I stopped at Slobber, and it just was bad. All around bad.
This is the good stuff.
The good stuff. It's late. I'm on autopilot.
That's not how you handle your business. Calm down. Don't do this.
Dick hurts.
Dick hurts. And the runs. Come on.
We have reached that point of the show, and all Bill can do is just smile.
Look at Bill. He's like, "Fuck you guys. I gotta work early."
I gotta work. I gotta get up in like 4 hours.
See, Critical Sting's old enough to remember how it used to be. Jesus, take the wheel. Like, get us the fuck out of here.
Take the wheel.
Right. It has been a banger on.
It's a dick banger.
This was an amazing hoss fight. Bill, I'm going to go to you first to pull you out of your shell there a little bit.
Where's Joe Doering?
Joe Doering's still in the car.
Oh, come on, Bill.
Well, somebody wants to start. I'll finish. and I will. Now settle down. Get your mind out of the gutter, Alicia.
What's happening?
We're too late on this podcast.
Too many dick jokes.
Dude, we are so late. Got to show this long.
You guys go first, and I'll get Joe out of the car.
Yeah, this is horrible.
Oh, what do I even say? This
you say big men slapping
somebody
me.
got a dick injury during this match.
I'm gonna laugh.
Oh my god.
This is off the rails.
Oh, dude, so
I don't know how to carry this.
Someone got their penis punctured in this match. The big men were slapping me. Someone's dick got hurt. It was wild. This was just a wild match. Both guys weigh a lot. They're beating the shit out of each other. Lots of clotheslines and lariats. Eventually, it led to a lowdown, which apparently we're trying to put the lowdown over tonight because I heard the word lowdown like 20 times. And then fucking Gallows lowdowns Joe Doering onto a crash pad on the side of the stage where Gorilla used to be, but someone's fucking dick got injured and cut. Someone hurt the fucking dick in this match, people. Like, for people who say wrestling is fake, dude, Doc Gallows had his dick shredded tonight in a fucking match and crawled back to the fucking ring and finished the match with a wounded dick. Wrestling is fucking hardcore.
What is this going to do to the character? You got to think. It's big picture here, guys. We're thinking out of the box here.
Okay.
What is this going to do to the character of Sex Ferguson? My God.
Oh.
Well, Sex Ferguson would have wore his protective codpiece and wouldn't have experienced such an injury.
It's true.
You know, I think you're right. I think you were right, Alicia. Bill needs to hurry up.
Bill's gonna come back winded and be like, "Whoa, it wasn't with his Joe Doering big head," and be like, "Oh, it's my dick."
What the fuck? You're so screwed on a 12-hour shift at work tomorrow.
That's Saturday. Tomorrow, luckily, it's not as long. Saturday is the 12-hour shift.
Okay. My bad. Bill's back to save us from ourselves.
Oh, thank God.
Save us from ourselves, Bill. What do you got? Oh, look at Zach. Look at Zach clutching up in the final minutes of the show with a fucking $1.99 super sticker. Fucking Bonifer, you're the man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Much love. All right, Joe, here we go. Wrap this up.
Super sticker.
This is the worst show ever.
This really sucks because I got to pee so bad right now.
Dude, I had to go.
Big LG.
My face hurts from laughing.
My wiener.
I
Get in the ring with the locomotive. You go down.
I almost snorted.
We gotta wrap this up, guys.
Yeah, we gotta end this fucking review. Oh man.
This gets worse. Curls are towing.
Somebody wrap this show.
Yeah, it's going.
Oh my God.
It's going really bad. Yeah.
My penis hurts. My wiener hurts.
That's enough out of you. Birthday.
So, quick question: who won this match?
What do you think?
Everybody's
Joe Doering.
hurt. No, it was a double.
No, I won the match full. 1, 2, 3, the center of the ring.
I thought he was going to say fully erect.
Thank you, D-Max. Come for the fucking bits.
That's it.
Oh,
I'm leaving because you don't give me my respect.
Dude,
if
we hit a hype train 2 hours and 40 minutes into this review, I will fucking do the truffle shuffle on After Dark with a fucking hype train in the last fucking 10 minutes of this review. Redonkulous. This is a total shit show. Where's Kyle?
Happy birthday, Mark.
Yay!
Hey,
Okay,
we made it.
1, 2, 3. Happy
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Uncle
Mark.
Happy birthday to
Thank you
We
so
probably
much.
just got copyrighted.
Oh, the birthday song.
Oreos. Give it Oreo.
Because everyone's singing at home. Oreo.
She meowed. So yeah, she was singing.
Thank
along.
you, everyone in chat too. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
How old are you?
44.
44. Nice.
God damn. I'm actually old
It's
enough now
okay.
that I do have to think about it.
So
That's
was
okay.
this
I can't
match the
remember half the
revenge
time
of the
either.
cock torturer?
Yes.
Yeah, it totally is. It totally was. So
Talking Chopomania 3, baby.
Oh, yes. The next Talking Chopomania featuring whatever.
Joe Doran's coming.
It's going to be incredible.
somewhere Chad Too Bad was rolling on the floor, dying laughing. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Mr. Bonker. Keep your stickers in the house.
So yeah, that move through the stage, Jesus, that was crazy. The finish was great. Just two hosses going at it. We loved it.
Great
All right,
match.
guys.
I always knew that'd be great. I want to see this again.
Yes. Yeah, we absolutely will. We will. It's as soon as
What is happening, Alicia? We're so gone.
As soon as Doc gets something fixed. All right, let's wrap this shit up. Thank you everyone for putting up with this almost 3 hours, dear God. And thanks, Joe, for stopping in to give me your 2 cents.
Thanks for floating by, Joe.
Oh God, I'm about to start floating in a second. Alicia, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram under the handle Alicia B. Cakey.
Awesome. Mark?
Mark World Order, MARKQ World Order on Twitter. But more importantly, patreon.com/WeTalkImpact. You can definitely find me there. You can find me on the Discord, mostly throughout the day, on and off. So if you have any issues or anything like that, or you have any questions, or you want to know anything about the podcast or the Patreon or Joe Doering's beautiful, scary ass face, hit us up on the Discord. Jaybone, Bill, myself, Alicia, every once in a while. We're all there. That's where the real heart of the family is coming together, is on the Discord. We would love to have you there. The link is in the description. Hit it. Join us on Discord. I'll see you there.
There you go. Bill, or excuse me, Joe.
You can find me in your dreams.
Well, it's about to be a wet dream in a minute. All right. So
what?
I gotta go.
Oh, here you go, Jaybone. Hold on. I have to do this for Jaybone, everybody. 3 hours in, someone else showed up who is also excited about CM Punk tomorrow. Jaybone, this is for you, buddy.
Yay! You could.
I'll make CM Punk my bitch.
So awkward.
This is so off the rails.
I'm actually down for that. Now I actually want to see CM Punk in Impact Wrestling. Anyways,
Jesus.
Bill, you can find
Get out of
him.
here. Get out of here, Chip.
All right, Bill.
Back, Joe. Back.
He's getting crazy at this late hour. But normal. Same place as usual. You can always find me everywhere. My name, William M. Gardner. Twitter, Instagram, wherever I am.
There you go. All right.
Which one's Jay?
Had to do it. Sorry.
Right here. Thank you. So you can find me over that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast, and I'll be doing some stuff probably late tomorrow. I'm going to be also helping out with the Emergence stuff, but I'm going to have my son, so I'm going to have to time stuff out appropriately. I might have to throw it to someone else for a while. But nonetheless, I'll be covering AEW Rampage as well tomorrow night for all the excitement. So make sure you tune in to Smash This Podcast for that. You can find it on the YouTube and the Twitch and all the socials. And you can find me personally at Jaybone5150 on the Twitter box. And you can find the show here, We Talk Impact, on all the socials, on the Facebook, the Twitter, and the Instanet. YouTube and Twitch here, and the show schedule. We do the Thursday TNI watch. Actually, no, it's not a watch along anymore. It's a live reaction That's a transition we're getting used to now. Then the review, like you see right now, following. Sunday night dinner is for the Patreons, and that's where we just shoot the shit with our fans and do some other stuff. Tuesday, the throwback, Time Machine Tuesday, we do the NWA TNA throwbacks, and we've been reviewing them. This coming week, we're going to be 83?
4, right? Or maybe it is 3. I missed this week, so I'm off.
Low 80s. We're in the 80s, folks.
And don't forget to watch along in the Discord 2 hours before we go live. That's 8 o'clock in the Discord, open to everyone. Join, watch along with us before the review.
Am I under the belief
yes.
that Trent's show is this week, so it would probably be a little earlier next week? Because I know they've been late the last couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk to Trent and figure it out.
I believe so, because I know they've been going real late lately.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't watch Time Machine Tuesday, Trent is still the anchor of Time Machine Tuesday. So if you really miss Trent, tune in on Tuesdays for your dose of the hot Trent injection.
Yeah. I know he loves the throwbacks. That's why I didn't fire him off of there. So.
Bell's boy giving it to us straight.
Bell's boy saying we have a wee injury on our show. All of our peepees are hurt.
Dear God, no. We're just old. Anyways, and I can't memorize all the stuff on the audios, but you can catch the podcast wherever you look for your audio podcast. Google, SoundCloud,
Stitcher,
SoundCloud,
Apple Pod.
For reals.
Exactly. And thank you to our Patreons. I know we're not playing the video, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. Thank you to everyone. We really appreciate you. Helps.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. Makes the show grow. And starting tomorrow, actually it is tomorrow, so if you tune in there, you might get it now.
The Friday review show.
Link right here.
Trent is texting, asking how the show went, and I'm like, dude, we're still fucking going.
We're wrapping it up, but we were a little wonky tonight. TNI's got a 20% off sale. Get yourself some merch, some mugs, caps, tanks, and more through Sunday. So that's it. Much love,
consider
everyone.
This as you got a review and an after dark, combining the one for free.
For free. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
much love, everyone. We'll see y'all tomorrow for Emergence. Take care.